Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party. And I'm David Sponheim. I'll be your host tonight. This is Truth Tuesday. And today we're going to talk about the biggest obstacle facing our country right now, the power of money versus truth, and how it's controlled our election process, our political dialogue. And I'm going to keep stressing the need to prosecute Obama. And even if you're a Democrat, you'll have to listen to some of my positions because your fiscal survival depends on it. You guys are getting gouged $10,000, $12,000 a year for your health care. For a couple, it's like $13,000 a year right now. And a lot of you have to wait till the the beginning of the next year in order to pay your full deductible, in order to get treated. All of that's got to go back to what it was in 2008. We can't possibly have $10,000 deductibles for people, and we can't possibly see the rates of health insurance jacked up so high that people are freaking out. It's absolutely absurd. I'm going to look at a couple pictures right now that are indicative of what appears to be the replacement of Hillary Clinton. This is a picture taken right before a major healthcare crisis occurred where she claimed she had pneumonia. She was taken into a van. They said, eyewitnesses there said that she had turned blue. Seriously, turned blue. That her legs were limp. They were literally carrying a person who was completely either in a coma or possibly dead. Now, I'm not the only person talking about this. A lot of people are thinking maybe she might have died. It wasn't some pneumonia attack. And doctors that looked at the footage, they said, no, that is not in any way what happened. Doctors who are experts in neurology said that this is some sort of a neurological disorder where she goes limp. It is some sort of a traumatic event. It's not some sort of a pneumonia. I didn't realize I had it. She was diagnosed on Friday with pneumonia when the green phlegm came up. Okay. Well, I'm not saying she's dead, but the possibility is getting weirder and weirder. Let me show you what happened. Almost immediately after she was taken in to her daughter's apartment, she pops out and makes an appearance at least 30 pounds lighter with a completely different face. Now you can see the similarities between the two faces, but pictures don't lie. And let me see if I can get you a better picture of this one. There is no way that that's the same person. You can see there, the first person at the top is a little bit fatter in the face. I'm not saying she's dead. I'm saying she could be dead. Now, the new replacement, they've been working on her for years. She's thinner, she's shorter, she wears elevator shoes, she's younger, and she looks a heck of a lot better, and she doesn't have a problem talking. She's mastered Hillary's voice. And for some reason, I mean, we were dealing with the possibility, the truth is that she has been indeed replaced. Now she's out campaigning again. So we just saw a blip a couple days ago that will be the telltale sign of an unbelievable hoax that the Democrats have put forth where they're actually running somebody else instead of her, in her stead. No, it's somebody else. They've had her groomed for some time, and she isn't a traditional Hillary impersonator. I'm looking at a different body style entirely. Let's go from these pictures to other pictures in this vein. Screen capture of Hillary walking to the 9/11 event shows a heavier set woman from behind. You can see her posterior here. Let me see if I can cue it in for you. See that? And the woman that emerged from Hillary Clinton's daughter Chelsea's apartment was much, much lighter. Now, it turns out Hillary Clinton's daughter's Chelsea's apartment was, in fact, the same location for a medical relief firm that handled all kinds of medical supplies. So they share the same address. So Hillary had a full medical staff whenever she went to see her daughter Chelsea. So if she's sick of pneumonia and she's coming back, that's one thing. But this other woman is out there now campaigning again for her. Different color coat, yeah. She changed her coat in her daughter's private healthcare facility. I mean, her daughter lives at a healthcare facility. Do you understand? They've been hiding Hillary's diseases and all of her maladies, everything that's been taking her down. They keep it from any hospital record by doing it in-house. Occam's razor tells us that this is definitely a different person. The pneumonia had put her so far in that complete fall down position that they literally had to carry her body and put it in there. She was completely limp. And then she pops right up, a thinner, newer, younger Hillary. Come on. Yeah, Hillary will be in bed for at least a month and a half, if she's even in bed. The video is about Hillary's collapse. Okay. I'm asking for you to write me in. You can't see that, Hillary? Yeah. People can write my name, and in fact, it's a better way to challenge the Diebold voting system, which is completely controlled by by potential hackers. The Department of Homeland Security said that they don't really feel confident this race will be safe without them involved. Well, whether they're involved or not, the only safe way to get a vote in is to write my name in. You can't trust whether your electronic digital vote for Trump or Hillary is going to make any difference. You got to go back to the good old handwriting. Just write my name in, and then we'll go from there. When I win the popular vote in your state, we can take the electoral college vote with enough electors in place. Here's a story. Chelsea's apartment has the same address as a medical facility. Hillary's secret hospital? Yeah. This is from governmentslaves.com.info. Chelsea's got, reason to protect her mom. A presidential candidate collapses at a ceremony in New York City, is shoved unconscious by the SS into a van like a side of beef and rushed off. Not to one of the many world-class hospitals and clinics, but to her daughter's $11 million apartment. Sound odd? It did to me. So he looked it up, and Chelsea's new apartment is the same address as Metro Care Home Services. Exact same address. 21st East 26th Street, number 4, 4th floor, Flatiron District, New York. New York. Same address, same floor. Apply Occam's razor to this one. Hillary's been getting private care without reporting her medical records. This is unbelievable. The fakery that's going on in our country is insane. Our nation is in dire need of clarity and of critical thinking abilities. So you, as a voter, have never been more important in this election. I never had a psychotic breakdown in my life. I would gladly release my medical records. I don't have any. I don't have a private medical facility that treats me either. Chelsea is not, she's spoiled brat. We can't possibly have a person like Trump, because if we did, we would have Hitler. Do you really think that my father and mother fought in World War II? My dad did the fighting. My mom was just a Marine. So that we could fall into the hands of another Hitler who doesn't want to respect the religious freedom of Muslims, who wants to use racism to rise to power just like Hitler did? Seriously. Now, Hitler did proposed mass deportations just like Trump. Both promised to make their country great again. Hitler was an anti-Jew fascist, and Trump clearly is an anti-Muslim fascist. Clearly. He wants dictatorial control over everybody and everything. Let me show you a picture of one of Trump's rallies in North Carolina that North Carolina is looking at possibly charging Trump with a crime of inciting a riot. Look what Trump's supporters did when some people protested some of the things he was saying in the rally. Watch this. He grabbed him by the shirt and he punches somebody. Watch this. The guy on the left. He hit that guy. He's threatening to punch people. He hit him again. Look at this. Assaulting him. Battery. They're asking. Look at. He grabbed this guy's head, threatened the woman. She flipped him off, and he pokes her and jabs her. Watch this. Look at that. And the security guy is not doing a damn thing. And they're saying this is the beginning of what could be a riot. They're going to call it a potential charge against Donald Trump. I would gladly show you tax returns if I had some. I haven't worked in 6 years. I retired at the age of 50, and I would urge people like Trump, who's getting pretty old and tired, to retire as well. I retired when I was like feeling really young. So I'm 56 right now, but I feel like I'm in my 20s. So I work out all the time, and I feel incredibly lucky to be so useful because I did retire at a young age. I'm not greedy. That's the big difference between me and Trump. He's greedy. So is Hillary, or whoever this person is who wants to be Hillary. I used to be able to bench 200, but I don't really push myself now. I have paid my dues in politics more than Trump. I actually ran for a local election. In my district, in the 10th district in Washington, I ran for the State House of Representatives, and I was completely attacked by the Democrats and Republicans in every way. They're challenged by a third-party candidate. You know the old saying, act locally but think globally but act locally? Democrats have it on their bumper stickers. It's absurd. You can't act locally and think globally. It doesn't work. You're crushed by the incredible entitlements of the Democratic Republican parties. These people think that they own the political scene. No, I didn't win, but I got 4,200 plus votes against all odds. And these Democrats told me in 2007 that no one will ever vote for me. I proved them wrong. I don't look a day over 56. Thanks. Trump is a egomaniac who read the speeches by Adolf Hitler when he went to bed at night. I have college transcripts online. You can look at it. Oh, excuse me, I don't have them online. Sorry. Correction. Makes me look like I'm shrinking. Is this better? Help me, help me. I had to buy a $5 suit. It was $4.99 plus tax. I'm not repeating myself. Nothing I've said tonight has repeated myself. Proof Trump is No, Hitler was a Zionist, you idiot. You didn't know that? Hitler got funding. No hate. I'm not hateful. Yeah, it was a good deal. It's a David Taylor. For $5, it probably came off a dead man. Hitler got funding from J.P. Morgan and the Windsor family to rise to power. Henry Ford supported Hitler. All of the wealthy elitists wanted Hitler. You know why? Because he was going to stop the Bolshevik Revolution from pressing west into Western Europe. Yeah. So Hitler was a Zionist. Trump is a Zionist. Are you beginning to get the picture? Wow. Hitler's father was Jewish. You don't know that? And believe me, I'm nothing against Jewish people. The fact of the matter is, the Rothschilds are the real Zionists. They aren't even Jewish. They were Bauers in Germany. They were the poorest of the Bauers, and they rose to power by simply becoming court Jews, appointed by Jewish royalty to steal money from people, calling it loans. This is how they became so powerful. While you are clearly being treated like a peon, these people are living in lavish luxury in Europe and Switzerland. They're preparing for the destruction of mankind. They put together the plan that Hitler had called the final solution. And guess what? It's still going on. We're merely provoking North Korea. North Korea is seeking some help right now. They want help, and Barack Obama hasn't opened a dialogue with Kim Jong-un. Trump is a Zionist. He's already met with Henry Kissinger. He met him 2 months ago. He's doing whatever they tell him. I, myself, am a person who would never take AIPAC money. Trump openly solicited AIPAC. He went to AIPAC asking, begging them for money because he's running out of money. Trump has liver cancer, you're saying? Because if he has orange skin, he has liver cancer. It could be he was just using one of those spray-on tan things. Yeah, people that do that are just like, yeah. I'm not hateful. In fact, I don't carry any grudges against anybody. I'm not pro-Sharia law at all. No, that's a lie. Zion is outside of the matrix. I've never taken AIPAC money. Mr. Anderson. Hitler was a Zionist, you idiot. Jews are not Zionists. You're a moron. God, Jewish people have nothing to do with Zionism. Oy vey. I deal with this all the time. What is wrong with you? You make me very verklempt. I've never left the Matrix. Mr. Anderson, you think that the world is what you think it is, but it is not. It's simply an illusion, Mr. Anderson. You simply do not understand. Let's talk about the Zionist takeover of your country right now. Let's talk about what they're planning. Do I think that Hillary has serious health problems because she's hiding? I don't know. Can you come up with a more euphemistic approach? She may be dead. We don't know if she's alive. They're putting out a fake Hillary. That's how bad the world is becoming. We don't even get the truth anymore. I left the Democratic Party because they told me to shut up in one of their meetings. I said I would not ratify the war in Iraq, and our local Maria Cantwell and the other one, I care not mention her name, God, Patty Murray. Dude, Trump is a Zionist. He met with Henry Kissinger 2 months ago. Are you not hearing me? He solicited AIPAC money. What the hell is wrong with you, Trump tards? Are you retarded? Trump has to show his taxes if he wants to look like he's not a liar, because he said he was going to show his taxes. He claims he's worth $10 billion. His taxes should reveal that. They told me to shut up, yeah. The Democrats did. Because I didn't support this war or the ratification in Iraq. Trump loves Jewish people. His daughter is Jewish. I don't have a problem with Jewish people either. But the difference is, the critical difference is, I didn't solicit AIPAC money and I don't like Zionism. Trump is a Zionist, my boy. Total. He's hook, line, and sinker up their butt. Yeah, when they crap, he's on the receiving end. He's a corporate tit sucker. How do you think he financed 4 corporate bankruptcies? By asking Guido down the street for a little quick money? Hey, Guido, could you float me a loan? And, No. He got a 0-interest loan from the Federal Reserve. He's not stupid, but he's not the smartest tack on the block, I'll tell you that. My business is your business. Yeah, that's right. I need to know. Inquiring minds need to know if a person that say they're worth $10 billion, they better show proof in their tax returns or they are a liar. Yeah. He had 700 successful businesses. Yeah, when they started to decline and go bankrupt, then they weren't businesses, were they? They were suck monsters. You know, we were on the receiving end. My family had investment capital in Resorts International, which they lost 10 grand back at that time. No, I don't have seizures. Trump is a Zionist, you freakazoid. Why would he meet Henry Kissinger? What was that conversation about? So, Henry, how can I get a loan?
Donald, I would like you to sit down, please. No, better yet, bend over, Donald. Take a seat and bend over. I'm about to deliver your interest payment.
I'm calling this man a liar who said he's worth $10 billion. Yes. And he doesn't want to present any tax returns to prove it. We are dealing with the most important election in American history, and you've got similarities between Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler right in front of you. And it's on record, Ivana Trump said he read Hitler's speeches before he went to bed every night. It is, if you don't want to be called a liar, it is. He's a liar. Could it be Satan? I don't know. I don't have any taxes. I told you I haven't worked in 6 years. What the hell? I told you I retired. This guy is greedy. He's not going to retire. And I can tell you something else. My boy, you are so wrong. You're so far up his ass. You're smelling his crap. I haven't worked in 6 years. I retired. See, people like Trump, they never retire because they're greedy. I don't take DBT money. No, I do not. I've never had social welfare from the government. But I want to remind all of you, this is Truth Tuesday. I don't have enough income to report. No. I'm a very, very frugal person. I saved enough money when I was younger to live comfortably past the age of 50. If you had brains, you would do that too. But apparently you don't. Hey, let's take a look at what I'm offering and Trump and Hillary are not offering. And let me just say Hillary, because we don't really know if this is the real Hillary that's out there now. She sounds like Hillary. So it's really Trump versus Hillary now in this election. But you're going to get a free $400 a month per U.S. adult with my plan. This is a pretty cool deal. This is not in any way designed to hurt you. It's designed to help everybody, even Wall Street executives. All right. I have never, ever been to Kosovo. I have no idea what you're talking about. She's hiding from the press, yeah. Trump gave Mark a 2007 car to censor us. And you want to vote for Trump. Trump literally has to censor a guy on the internet who's been censored for 8 years by the mainstream media. He wants to censor me here on my network. Does that seem a little desperate to you? 400 is what everyone should get. You know what makes you un-American, you Trump-tards? You're un-American. Because you don't even care about the American people getting a hand up. You don't even want to give people a chance to get out of the situation they're in. That's why you like Trump, because you think that he'll give you a little bit of his money. I don't need money after the age of 50. I have savings. For those of you who don't know how to save like Trump, who's in debt for $640 million, and he shares $2 billion in debt with a partner. For someone to hand free cars to somebody to censor me is insane. The fact that he had to pull a car out of his collection to censor, can't confirm this, but nothing happened in Kosovo because I've never been to Kosovo. Dumb. These Trump-tards are racist. I agree. And they beat people up. They're bullies. He's a total liar. He's not worth $10 billion. I call him out. Show us your tax returns, Mr. Trump. They belie a deeper, more sinister issue. You've been shielding your assets from the IRS, but you're bragging about them in public disclosure forms. Wow. Willing to commit perjury to become president? That's unbelievable. You don't want a person like that. And let me just cut this down to the bare bones, okay? A lot of you want to look at the presidency as something that's very important, that represents you, the American people. Trump represents corporate America. Hillary represents corporate America. Hillary represents corporate America. Trump has taken 10 of my ideas to win the Republican nomination. He used them against his other opponents miraculously because all these ideas were honed for many, many years. If you go to davidsponheim.com, you will see a copy of my 4.0, one of my report cards from high school. Feel free to go to davidsponheim.com. I published a lot of data there recently to back up my 185 IQ. But I don't want to make a big deal about my incredibly high intelligence, okay? I kind of want to underplay that. The law is called calling somebody out as a liar, Fat Vinny. Trump, what are you, speaking for Trump? What do you have, a little Trump up your ass? And every time he says something, you go, oh, 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 oh. What do you have, a massive Trump butt plug up your butt? I showed you the results of my IQ test. Many of you can run them against the battery that's online, and if you had intelligence, you'd understand how to do that, and you'll spit out 185 IQ, which, by the way, is sealed, and the records are going to have to be subpoenaed to get them out. I can't get my records from my Cume folder. I wish I could. Trump is a Zionist. He went for AIPAC money. What about that do you not understand? God, you people haven't even vetted this guy. And you're mindlessly, oh, I like you, Trump. You want to keep the Muslims out of our country. That's how you are. Oh, you think I insult people? You haven't even seen what I can do. If you put me in the room with Trump, he won't even walk out of there. He'll be looking for his butt plug to cover up the diarrhea stains in his wake. Let's show you a Trump butt plug. I'm so sick and tired of this. This is bizarre. Trump just took $63 million in, and he hasn't even reported where that money's going. Seriously. And you notice that there's no money going to TV advertising right now? Trump is a total Zionist. He went after the AIPAC money. Read about it, man. God, what is wrong with you? Let's do the Trump butt plug. What do you say? And then we'll play some music. We need to relax a little bit. You're going to have to relax. You're going to have a heart attack. I made some very threatening statements in my pre-show that I'm not proud of. But it really pissed me off when Duterte called Barack Obama's mother a whore. And everyone knows that Barack Obama's mother is not a whore. She was an exotic dancer. Yeah. So you got to understand, we're not going to sit back and watch like the pussy Barack Obama as he gets his mother insulted. We're going to get back in that guy's face if he were to insult my mother. I'm sorry, but this is insane. We've got a real problem. He wants to get rid of our base in Mindanao, and it's a strategic base. We need it. The Philippine people are good people. Trump is borrowing money from AIPAC and collected $63 million that he hasn't reported. We don't know what he's done with it. Is he paying the interest on his debt? Where's the $63 million? Well, calling somebody's mother a whore is enough to launch a war. But I mean, the Philippine people are good people. There's no reason why we would attack them. We would just do a selected, targeted hit on their leader, who, by the way, is killing 2,400 innocent drug dealers. Can you imagine? How many of you would want to kill your drug dealer? Anybody? Trump is not an anti-globalist. He met with Henry Kissinger, you moron. I like the fact that you're going to have sex. That's good. Sex is good. Sex leads to babies. Babies are good. I'm not into depopulation and the global New World Order like Trump. He sucks up to Henry Kissinger. Yeah. Meeting with him 2 months ago is on the record. No question about it. He's completely a suck up and an establishment figure. And he's using his money to borrow my ideas and use them to dominate politics across the globe. In his mind. So yeah, we have the Trump butt plug on tap. We'll be bringing it in during the show for any of you who want to. In fact, I'm going to give you a value pack. Right. There's 3 of them. There's 3 Trump butt plugs. Trump is an insider who has been a complete establishment figure and completely sucked up to the power elite. Completely. He's, whatever they say, they say jump, Trump goes, how high should I jump? He's a complete suck up. He's exactly what Hitler was. Hitler was in no way a man of means, by no means, king of the road. Hitler was a scared little child. He was actually called the Screamer in World War I. And they pulled him out. You know why Hitler was chosen? By the elitists, the Zionists. Hitler was called the Screamer, and his voice would penetrate a crowd. He had a very high-pitched voice that could easily reach out before megaphones. And he did this on a daily basis, so they said, yeah, let's put this guy in power. He was an architect. He drew some pictures. He wasn't really capable of doing anything. He was funded, powered up and funded by the elite. So when you look at the same people that are funding Trump's campaign, you're seeing people dying out of his empty head, and he's serving up tacos. People are going to basically get behind whatever person is leading in this race. And right now, the race is getting closer and closer as the 2 parties collide in the polls. So as Hillary continually drops in the polls because she can't make any real credible appearances, and we got the nightmare unfolding behind us of the useless Obama, And then you get Trump, who's now saying that Obama was born in the U.S., or at least Rudy Giuliani is saying it for him because he doesn't want to make that a big issue. Trump is not self-funded at all. In fact, he's using that $63 million to finance his interest on his debt right now. Unless he reports it to the FEC, we have to assume he's using that money that he got donated to his campaign to finance his operation. And by the way, you Trump-tards, I got to tell you, you guys have to understand this guy will not prosecute Obama. Trump is not self-funding. I'm not desperate. I've been the same way ever since 2008. I was upset when Obama came on the scene, lying to the American people. I did not want somebody exploiting their blackness to control our country's future, and that's why I made the infamous Broke Insane Obama's video, which has gotten me national and international acclaim. It hasn't really grown too much nationally because of the censorship, but this is pretty much why people are watching all around the globe and telling people about me. Because I'm not afraid of anything. I'm fearless. And you guys can run around threatening me all you want, threatening to kill me, and it's going to go nowhere. It doesn't in any way affect me. You can't scare me. I've had physical death threats. You can come back a little later. It's okay. Really, okay. I'm good.
All right, I was just going to get this set up.
Get that set up and we'll... Trump is not. He's borrowed money to be successful in his mind. I have no racism against blacks. I've never said a racial slur against a black in my life. I think Hillary might be dead. Yes. They said, I read verbatim from an eyewitness testimony that she was turning blue as she was entering the van and her body went limp. I don't have a bipolar disorder. Never did. Yeah. My pro-Jewish stance is not in any way an agreement of Zionism. No, in fact, I will not take AIPAC money, and I stand against Zionism. No, I admit that he's borrowed money to appear he's successful. That in no way is success. I'd like to see a positive return on his ledger. I doubt I could see it. I've never said a racial slur against a black or anyone else. Thank you, 657. You're awesome. You've had emotional death threats? Wow. So people want to hurt your psyche, and they say, well, we're gonna take out your psyche, buddy. We're gonna take you down. I mean, you own words, you did it because he was black racist? Huh? No, I did it because Barack Obama is black. I can't correct that. I was not going to be able to impersonate Barack Obama in whiteface. I will be the most beloved president ever in the history of the country. Yeah, the 45th president, you're looking at him right here. Well, I have a constant desire to share, and I'm motivated by the lack of fairness and equity. The inequality in our country is so bad that I understood the psyche of the Bernie supporters. I really did. I got the Bernie concepts. I didn't support the idea of socialism. In no way do I want to be a socialist president. I'm a person who's dedicated to capitalism. And I want to strengthen our capitalism by getting the government to compete in the free market. Nobody seems to understand that. I'm the only person in the country that can do that. Trump's wealth is not valid. I mean, borrowing money does not make you wealthy, man. I could max out credit cards and stand around basking in cash and go, oh, I'm so wealthy. Oh, I own a house. Oh, but I really do own my house. It's paid for. I own my cars, paid for. I don't have any debt. Trump is wallowing in debt. He has $640 million in debt right now, and $2 billion he shares with partners.
he the self-proclaimed king of debt?
And he is the self-proclaimed king of debt. Let's play that loop for you. Here we go. So he really wants our country to be a debtor nation, and that's exactly the opposite of what we need to do right now. We need to have an austerity plan. We need to have creative discussions on how to generate capital for the American government and for businesses, small businesses especially. That's where job growth will occur. So we go to the king of debt here. Let's see what we got. He's made so many statements that are like foot and mouth statements, it's almost not even funny. It's bizarre. Here we go.
Puerto Rico right now,
he wants to bail on Puerto Rico and not even give them a break. Puerto Rico is the bastion of corruption. People shield their savings in Puerto Rico. He doesn't want to bail them out. I want to offer Puerto Rico statehood.
are defaulting on $400 million. If you were president of the United States, what would you do to help the people in Puerto Rico?
Well, the problem we have is we have 19 trillion in debt. We have a we have a country that's in such trouble. So we have 19 trillion going up, as you know, to 21 trillion in a very short period of time because of the horrible omnibus budget. And I think really they have to solve the problem.
Should the U.S. bail out Puerto Rico?
No, I don't believe they should. I don't believe they should. And I think, frankly, Puerto Rico is better if they don't. Because they'll cut the bonds, they'll cut them way down. They're far too much debt. I mean, the problem with Puerto Rico, they're far, far too much
They can't even use
Don't
the
forget,
bank.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented from using the bank.
Okay, I'm the king of debt. I love debt. That's what he said.
They can't even use
Don't
the
forget,
bank.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented from.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented from.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented.
Okay, we'll bring that up in any time we have a question about Trump and his debt crisis. Yeah, he really has a weird-shaped mouth. Yeah, I agree. It's from sucking lemons all his life, thinking he's better than everyone. You're going to have your mouth up here and think you're like above everybody. It's a condescending mouth. You don't get a mouth like that walking around being a hard-working person, getting in there and pitching in. You get a mouth like that telling people, you're fired! You're fired! You're so strangled in your Trump-tardness that you don't even know what you're talking about. Monkey times, please. Your personal sexual desire is not relevant here. And talking about my physical body is irrelevant. Just because I'm a stud doesn't mean you have to talk about me like that. I don't have 186 IQ. I have 185 IQ. Plus, I'm probably picking up IQ points just talking here every night. Sarah is going to hang out with us.
People can pick up IQ points.
Can you? You can test differently.
I like to believe that it's all about a growth mindset and all those things. At least that's just my mind saying that. So I believe in that.
I think so too. I think if you ate blueberries, you could do better on tests. I know that I get that.
I don't have a I haven't tested my IQ ever.
She did get a Mensa scholarship though. She got a scholarship
true.
from Mensa.
Scholarship from Mensa.
Yeah. She is so smart, she doesn't need to test herself. She's unique, and we're all unique in so many different ways. I found out that my intelligence is a specific type of intelligence when I analyze my IQ test. And other people are looking at my results at davidsponheim.com and they're going, "Wow, David, you've got some gaps there. You don't have a learning ability." And I will admit I haven't really advanced from my IQ test when I took it when I was 15 years old. One of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing is I'm able to pull information in. I'm an information gatherer. And my genius is in analyzing things inductively from the top down, looking at the forest and seeing the trees. So my ability to see problems is genius. And I'm the guy to fix this country's problems, I assure you.
You see all the problems, yeah.
But I'm not here to learn code. I'm not here to reprogram the welfare system in Alabama. Somebody else who does programming can do that. I'm here to tell you that my unique ability is designed to do exactly what a president needs to do. Fix the country. Not learn how to fix the country. Fix the country. All right. The learning curve that Barack Obama was on was too steep, and he never really got on it because he's been playing golf his entire time as president, and he was just a puppet to start with. I'm a real person who will never get sold out like Hillary or Donald. They're greedy. They're both self-admitted greedy people. So you got to understand, if this country is going to have national security, we can't have a woman who may or may not have had her emails hacked by Russians. And we can't have a guy who's so greedy somebody could slip him, a few $1 billion and he'll do whatever a foreign dignitary wants him to do because he needs money. I'm not materialistic. I'm unbuyable. Trump is materialistic, so is Hillary, and they're both buyable. And they both have a lot of crap on them. I have no crap on me at all. I'm scot-free. I'm as clean as you get, as virgin snow. And I'm an ethical man. So you either figure this election out and write my name in the upcoming election, or you will be seeing the power of money take down all of our ethics and all of our truths and destroy the nation.
Chat room celebrities posting a link talking about what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, the DNC holding an emergency meeting to discuss replacing Clinton as a presidential nominee. Yeah. Running with the fake Hillary is not going to last long. She's going to slip up. She's not exactly fully trained for the job. The original Hillary was a lot more versed in being Hillary. So it's going to be interesting to see how she plays in extemporaneous discussions. It's hard to be somebody you're not. I'll be frank, I do voices all the time. And I cannot do Donald Trump's voice. I just can't get my voice to do it. There's something about his voice I can't do. Yet I can do other voices. So our unique abilities really play into this entire thing. If this woman really is a Hillary specialist, and she's been trained to talk like Hillary, and some of the best speech therapists can make that happen, it does make no sense to me that we'd be voting for Hillary. But if she were to pull it off, she will stumble in debate. And it'll be interesting to see how that happens if she does debate Donald Trump. Now, she may have an earpiece in her ear like Hillary, the real Hillary, did the other day. Hillary, you're a witness to the Hillary who's trained. Some of you ought to be comedians. You're funny as heck. My impersonations are to get noticed. Because the censorship is so incredible. Thank you. Because the censorship is so incredible, we are now looking at what appears to be a completely controlled election. And the ability of the mainstream media to fix and rig the voting. So if not only do the polls go out every single election during the day in our country, where you're not allowed to do that in Romania or other countries, you can't show poll results during the election day. But because the polls go out, the mainstream media can control the election by saying, oh yeah, Hillary's in the lead, or oh yeah, David Sponheim came out of nowhere, and people are writing his name in. Well, who's this David Sponheim? Oh, well, I'll go write my name. I'll write his name in. So everything about our controlled election is completely riggable. They can put anything they want out there. So your only way you as a voter can get a real election vote counted is to write my name in and get behind everybody else who's writing my name in. Melania was a paid escort. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. We've already seen her lie about her history. She claims she has a bachelor's degree in architecture, and she doesn't. She was under oath saying that. She's a known liar. And she also plagiarized Michelle's speech, her acceptance speech. Okay, so I'm going to pull the prosecute Obama down. Sarah's going to come in. She's not necessarily going to prosecute Obama. If I'm assassinated, don't count on her in any way prosecuting Obama, okay?
Well, count on me finding out and prosecuting whoever hurt you.
Yeah, but I doubt the FBI would even look into the assassin, They haven't done much work at all. They won't even investigate Hillary's emails. It's unbelievable. I'll tell you, you're already in hell in your mind.
No, David never talked about hurting anyone, Canadian.
I've never threatened anybody. We are friends with England, yes. I've answered that question a couple times in our show. Okay, I'm going to step out. Please show some restraint in discussing things. We do not talk about flat Earth. It's a diversion, and it's a complete bogus story that was perpetrated by the CIA. It's designed to make you look like a retard to everybody in your family. Because if you happen to say, well, here's a flat Earth, but there's chemicals being sprayed in the sky. Oh, now he's talking about chemtrails. Oh, what a total whack job. And your whole family's going to turn around and look at you going, oh no, what did you do with yourself? Yeah, seriously. So you're actually, when you talk about flat Earth, it's designed by the government to make you look like a retard. All right. Well, this is a huge battle we've got right now because we are rolling out with the truth and we're fighting the power of money every single night. And they come in here and they try to trash us because these Trump-tards don't have any clue as to what's going on. Yeah, if you believe there's a flat Earth, then you're a total retard. But you may also think there's chemicals in the air, which would make you intelligent. Can you explain the 13-year-old showing PM? What? No. Are you talking about the charges, the rape charges Trump is getting for raping a 13-year-old girl? Okay, let's take a look. Hang on. This came in the show last night. I didn't feature it, but Trump and rape charges are popping up. This is from the Daily Star in the UK. They say that this case was resolved out of court, but she's thinking of refiling the lawsuit. Donald Trump has been rocked by rape claims. A U.S. billionaire denies betting this girl, but it's kind of come back to haunt him. Let me give you the link to this, guys, if you want to check it out. Yeah, check this out. Here it is. It sounds legit. His top lawyer says the claims are untrue and politically motivated, but the woman is claiming the Republican nominee imprisoned and attacked her at a party held by a convicted sex offender billionaire Jeffrey Epstein when she was age 13 during the 1990s. Now, Trump is on Epstein's blacklist. I'm just telling you, this is a news story. I'm merely reporting it. I'm not saying he raped a 13-year-old. Allegedly raped a 13-year-old. No, she was 13. Let me give you the link again. You can check it out. I'm in no way implying he actually raped her. All right. I know you posted 2 months ago. And we've been watching this. We actually played this link 2 months ago. Jackson, can you believe this? Okay, we got to play a musical rendition before we get into the Sarah segment. You'll have to just put up with this. I don't dance anymore during this, Sarah. But everyone counts on the Can't Stop song, and I play it for everybody because it's a motivational thing, because we really can't stop doing this. There's so much corruption in our country run by these corrupt pigs that we got to do something. So this is a great song that Scissor Fight knitted together with his amazing genius skills. Let's play it. No, I said that alleged.
We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, can't stop,
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim, America's Third Party.
For president.
I like the new board. Yeah, they did. Is it okay?
Can't stop and we won't stop.
are really a big issue. And that's one of the reasons why I was saying prosecute Obama, but we need to nullify Obamacare.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
So you had a pretty good day? Well, I'm going to go ahead and make some dinner, so you guys have fun with Sarah.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt. Love debt. They're preventing debt. I love debt.
All right, so you're welcome. I'm going to leave guest chat on, but Sarah can actually shut guest chat off if you guys get really, really mean. So lighten up on the meanness. You get to stay in here. You guests get to chat. We're trying to train everybody to be a better chatter. I've been chatting since 1985. So I'm one of the oldest living chatters on Earth.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? All right. The show is yours.
Been chatting a long time, I'm sure.
You guys can hang out and be with Sarah for a while. I'm going to go cook some dinner. I'll be back. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for doing that, David. I'm going to just check on what's going on in the news. Oh, plus also I should open up all of the different sites where people could possibly be chatting, because for some reason David only has Vaughn Live open. And I prefer to have so if you've been hanging out at my vlog, sorry if you feel ignored. I'll pull it up right now. And it could happen. So one of the ways you say, how does giving away $400 help get us out of debt? And so it would be welfare reform. So we would be eliminating current welfare laws in order to fund the $400 a month. Oh yeah, that's it, 816. That's why I'm here. You figured it out. So smart. If I were in debt, would I give money to someone? Well, the thing is that I think the U.S. debt versus an average household income debt, I think it works on different premises. Like U.S. debt, you have to figure that with the United States being in debt, that it's, in a way, a lot of it is games and an illusion, because the truth be told, the entire monetary system is based on fakery and thievery, and the entire monetary system. No, it's only for U.S. citizens, adult citizens would be receiving the $400 per month, which David would like to see happen when he becomes president. Sure. That's the news about the $400. Maybe I should change this. I should put this up here, and then let's put this down here. See if you guys will talk about David Sponheim for America's Third Party more if it's down below. Versus, and then put this at the very top. You'll get $400 when David becomes president and reforms the welfare system. So help elect him to president. That would be fantastic to do that. Okay, let me just remove some things. Oh wait, here's this. I'll send this to down. That'll work. Yes, thank you. We are live on YouTube. Thank you very much, Eddie. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. We are live on. That's proof that I'm live on YouTube. Thank you very much, Eddie. Echoing for a moment. I'm trying to move my picture. David just has too many things. Okay. I was trying to move my picture underneath that. Just to see, do people watch the bottom of the screen more or the top of the screen more? Well, the thing about the $400 per month, it would be welfare reform and people wouldn't have to do more than show their proof of citizenship in order to qualify for it. Oh, Eddie, thank you. Down with Trump, up with Sponheim. I agree with that. That's great. All right. I guess you're used to your own smells is what it comes down to, chat room celebrity. Maybe digesting certain smells and you get used to them. I like David 619, thank you. Oh, thanks for listening to what I have to say, being understanding and sensitive to my feelings. If you give money to get it back, you accomplish nothing. If you get the money that you give, then you spend it back, you get more. And 575 says, to reduce debt, you stop spending, you do not give away money, fools. I encourage you to look into our monetary system. How did the Federal Reserve get started? And maybe watch Zeitgeist, the original one, not the addendum, and start to realize that the entire monetary system is based on this false premise of debt. Instead of just saying, okay, we're going to put so much money into the system and for every person born we're going to add X amount of dollars. That's how they could have done it. I mean, they basically create money out of thin air. So why wouldn't they just say each person's worth X amount of dollars and we'll put it into the system every time someone's born? I mean, that's what they could have done. But right now they just get us deeper and deeper into this supposed debt when it's actually the entire monetary system is based on debt. There's no zero-sum game or anything. It just keeps expanding and expanding. I don't know if anyone else will pay our debt. Well, I think that you have to look beyond just debt 575 and you have to look at the standard of living for people. And how I don't think the question is how to reduce our debt, because you're never going to eliminate the debt, ever. Never will you eliminate the debt, because that is the basis of the monetary system. But I do believe that you can make people's lives better. Yeah, well, I suppose life insurance people do anthrax, but I agree. I mean, on a personal level, I am not in debt, and I never plan to be in debt. When you're talking about on a government level, I think it's a different story on a government level. Now, we would still get money back, more than $400 a month back in taxes. that if we kept the same tax rate that we do currently. It's just a French twist. So when David says giving away $400 per month to U.S. adults, that might actually be less than what's going out in welfare currently. And the other thing is that, yeah, we will be receiving more than that in taxes. Even if we stopped spending, if they went into a government shutdown, say 575, which I don't see them ever going into a government shutdown, even if we stopped spending, we would still be in debt for a long time. The U.S. government would still be in debt for a very long time. I don't think that we would be actually debt free, even if we cut our military spending by 3/4 for the next 40 years. I think our military men and women do an excellent job for us. I think that I could see not purchasing newer weapons and not putting money into the infrastructure for research and developments for the military industrial complex, and I can definitely see not giving weapons to foreign countries. Do you think that's going to happen to me, 619? I will just enjoy my life and continue to help people. Okay. Well, yes, you do have a point there, 575. 575 says we do not need troops in 120 different countries and all the embassies all over the world. I actually tend to agree with you there. I do think that we can work toward minimizing troops overseas, but I do simultaneously, I think the majority of spending when it comes to the Department of Defense isn't actually research and development and weapons design and newer airplanes and things like that. So we could actually reduce that before we fire any actual people that work for the military. Now, I would say when David talks about giving away money and reducing debt, all the money that David's talking about giving away will go back into our economy and give a boost to our economy. That's what would happen. Because all those people that would get $400 in a month, they would the majority of them would spend it immediately. Yes, collated anthrax. It all depends, though. I mean, do we need? I'd have to look at it on a case-by-case basis, as far as embassies. Well, I make my case is that our entire monetary system is based on debt. It started with a premise: I'll give you a shovel and then you have to give me two back. When the only way for that to happen is if you went out and created a shovel yourself or took a shovel from someone else. It's not, and the inflation that keeps happening, it's shows you that our entire monetary system is is based on debt, and it just keeps expanding. Well, and the person that you purchase it from, 541, might spend it on other things. It's a domino effect. No, it would only go to U.S. adults, 283, that means anyone over 18, and to help the youth, there would be a breakfast and lunch program at schools. I believe you say I'm not doing that. I'm giving one shovel away, hoping to get it back. I am in favor of giving people money because I believe it will filter through the rest of the economy. After you get 400 what? 596. No, actually, the answer to your question, 596, is simple. It's no. I don't smoke anytime, 318. I just don't do that. I would say that's not necessarily true. I think that it's a actually money is can have a multiplier effect. So if you put money into the system, the $400, you use it to buy something from someone. That person uses it to buy something from someone else. And that person uses it to buy something from someone else. It's a multiplier effect, and it's a great way to stimulate the economy. Thank you very much. 657. Thanks. So this is my easiest hairstyle to do. Oh, okay. Thanks, Eddie. No, that's not how the debt works, 619. The debt works, our monetary system works like this. The Federal Reserve prints money out of thin air. They then loan the money to the United States government. The government then sends it to banks, etc., and they might loan the money out to people, and meanwhile the U.S. government is written an agreement to pay the Federal Reserve back. Well, if you go back to the very beginning when this first started, the Federal Reserve said, here, we're going to loan you $100 million, and you pay us, say even if it's $125 million back. Well, how does the government pay back $125 million when that extra $25 million when the original money was just created out of thin air? No, 596. Hello, Matuta. Thank you. So that's my issue with the entire monetary system. And I think that we can do a better job at looking at our society, looking at our monetary system, and seeing what are the needs that need to be met and can they be met without relying on money. I believe strongly in a baseline plus society, which is that we have so many resources here in the United States of America that we can provide for the United States populace with the resources that we have. So it's really the entire, I'd say the entire monetary system. I think that we can rethink, what do people really need to survive? Okay, forget the $400 a month. Let's talk about helping people build up houses that they can live in. So they can live in low-cost housing. I mean, people need housing, they need health care, they need communications and transportation. Those are the things that people need, and we have a plan for that too. So we have the homestead renewal plan where people can help build up houses that they can then live in for low costs. I do believe that the Trans-Pacific Partnership should be blocked. I think that we need to deal with each country individually, and I definitely do not want any kind of control of the internet. Yes, but giving, okay, it's 575. You say giving money away to consumers gives it to companies. However, all of the, let's call it, what do they call it? Incentives, the ARRA funding, America Recovery and Reinvestment Act funding, all of that did not go into consumers. That money went into companies that did not trickle down to consumers or even workers. I think that's highly inappropriate, 119, and a professional should always remain professional. I think it doesn't matter, age doesn't matter when you're in a professional role. You need to be a professional. Age doesn't matter. It all depends on the relationship. Yes, I agree. 575, you and I can agree on that. That giving money to companies does not reduce government debt. Sometimes I am. Yes, when someone is in the role of an authority figure, it's more than just, it's not just consent that needs to be taken into consideration. Well, Mad Dog, you have a point. Paying employees wages that can be taxed reduces debt to a degree, except so as long as, but if you're borrowing that money to pay the wages, then it's counterintuitive.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to take your foot away.
It's a way to help with the welfare system, 575.
Here,
We're not going to be spending, oh, that's fine. We're not going to be spending on the free $400 per month for U.S. adults.
You know, a lot of that's welfare money that will be,
right.
We're getting rid of welfare. That's the goal. Eliminate welfare. I'm going to make her stay. Yeah. Well, anybody can qualify. We don't have any of the bureaucracy that we currently have. You know, our program doesn't require 6-month reviews like we do now with food stamps. It's very comfortable, yeah. food stamps and welfare, everybody has to be reviewed every 6 months, and it's costing our country a lot just in the administrative costs. So we're getting rid of all of that. Hi, iBloggers. The welfare system is broken. That's right. And we need to stop the $200 payments per child, which is an incentive for people to have babies unnecessarily, just to have more money coming in. And that's what we eliminate. But we will be giving a full lunch breakfast program at the schools. A Head Start program will be everywhere, guaranteed. Even if a state says they don't want any of our federal kits whatsoever on education, they reject all our testing opportunities, because we don't want to test a lot. Those schools will still get the Head Start program and will be able to have food delivered everywhere in the country through the school system.
Program.
Breakfast and lunch. Yes, homeless will get $400 a month because we're going to go into the areas where 10 cities are. Initially with mailboxes, temporary mailboxes. And we will have a staff from the USPS there to handle giving everybody a temporary mailbox. And in the process, they'll be able to get information to and from any source, like an employer, which will help people get an identity. You see, we aren't empowering the people. We aren't giving them a shower. Right? We want to give people like hot showers, opportunity to take a hot shower, wash their clothes, get some clothing that's under a tent that would be donated from local charities. And we want to power this up with philanthropy money. We don't want to take your tax money to do it. We want to get philanthropists to fund the initial mobile service units that can go out and provide tent cities that kind of service. But we are going to be seeing in large tent cities around the country. My sister Connie was just over in Pike's Place, and she said there's more homeless people than ever before in Seattle. She's never seen so many homeless people. And all these businesses that used to be open are closed. This $15 an hour minimum wage that the Democrats here have put forth have gutted the city of Seattle. Restaurants are closing. They don't want to hire people for $15 an hour. They can't. They can't afford it. So again, the Democrats have taken the money that you would think they would be using it wisely. They're just throwing it in different directions, and they're ruining the economy. Tax and spend. This is the problem with tax and spend, and I hate tax and spend. That's why I left the Democratic Party.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for giving me a break. That was awesome.
Thank you for.
Oh no, this is my show. I love the show. You give me a great break. Thank you. Yeah, so I started this show with Sarah, but it was really my idea to go on television, and Sarah was the one that first clued us into Blog Talk Radio, so we did a Blog Talk Radio show before we started our TV show in 2008. Yeah, $15 an hour is coming to almost all major U.S. cities within the next 2 to 4 years. Unfortunately, it's killing business, monkey times. And you Democrats refuse to listen to the truth. You're watching America collapse because you don't even understand the mechanism by which business operates. Business has to have low-cost labor in order to function. There's a lot of off times, especially in restaurant businesses and retail. And if you got somebody sitting around collecting $15 an hour at a mall, goodbye mall. I mean, the retail sector is going to collapse. Half of our malls are empty anyway right now. Are you going to be in Fox? No. I've completely been censored by the mainstream media. They won't profile me at all. I know they've already passed, but I'm telling you, the businesses will close and they'll be passing laws that they can't enforce. I don't understand why the Democrats don't understand tax and spend kills the economy. I just don't understand that. And we want to lower restrictions on small business. Whereas, a guy like Donald Trump has exploited people all his life. He's not even paying a lot of his employees, allegedly. 66 lawsuits right now of people that are just not getting paid. Right now. We're being censored by the mainstream media, who controls not only YouTube, but Twitter and Facebook. We've noticed hit counter locks on all of our sites. I have been getting no response from the media. They actually deny even coming to my home and interviewing me. I have almost an hour of footage of me talking to cameras, high-definition cameras, on the issues. And they never wanted to present one of my stories. They won't talk about me. So instead, they want to make fun of me. They want to make me like a joke. So I used this incredible guerrilla marketing campaign back in 2009, 2008 actually, I started it. I recognized that the censorship was in place 8 years ago, and I put together the Broke Insane Obamas video, which catapulted me to international fame, which has helped me remain buoyant on the blog. But we're still waiting for the critical mass of international people talking about me to trickle back to the U.S. media, which it hasn't done. Even Gawker is talking about me slightly, but they're not making a big issue about it. And most of it's just to libel me and call me names, because I had the balls to impersonate the worst president we've ever had. Am I going bald? No. I have a lot of hair. I have a good head of hair, man. I'm really happy I have a head of hair, too. No, I can't run with a flag to New York. Gawker, not Docker. You know the company that's probably going to end up closing down because of that lawsuit against Hulk Hogan? Yeah, they really put Hulk Hogan in a very bad situation where they videotaped him having sex. Well, they got a major lawsuit. I think they got slammed with $58 million in penalties. So it's unlikely Gawker, as we know it, is going to continue on. Stock market is killing the economy, yeah. The economy is really beyond the stock market. The economy really is a solid unit. The service economy is good. So whatever happens on the Dow Jones is just an indication of what rich people are dealing with. Now, when the rich people realize they're not going to make any more money because they've expanded the credit as far as it'll go, and right now you're seeing the global economy collapse. What do you mean I have hair? I have a good head of hair. You don't think this is a good head of hair? Let's talk about the Sioux, yeah. Camping in a TP would be really disturbing. Hi, 689. Excuse me, guest 89. Welcome. No, my hair is superior because it's real. His is obviously extensions. What do you mean? This is not a wig. This is my hair. Thanks. A boy named Sue. Dow Jones, again, like I predicted yesterday, dropped immediately. I said it would be an up day on Monday. It was. And then today it dropped 258 points. Yeah, on record data from Wall Street. The Dow Jones Indices provides unparalleled services. Yes, thank you. Triple digit. As crude oil prices crashed on an ominous note from the international. Thank you. Tom Jones, yeah. What's up, pussycat? Whoa, 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 yeah. Certainly not the stock market. The Tom Jones is down, dangling at an unbelievably low price, 258 points below average. Any other songs from Tom Jones we can sing? Because that would be more fun than talking about the economy. Weaponized medical transport carts are taking Hillary away. Wow. Hillary Clinton's campaign van fitted with rear napping bed and automated external defibrillator. She's prepared, I'll tell you. That's if she's alive. Some people are saying that her Shillery has already been put in play. They're going to see how well Shillery does. They've been able to fake the death of Renee Zellweger and other people, and they don't even report it as a death. They just put a new person in there. Isn't the lying getting pretty sophisticated? I mean, they really think they're pulling one over on us, and most people are like, well, Hillary wasn't replaced. I mean, she just lost 32 pounds in one day. Oh. She had emergency liposuction surgery in the defibrillator ban. Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the stock market shows how the stock market can grow. The economy doesn't grow. Economy grows on demand. No, the stock market has clearly been driven by just a few investors. The number of investors have actually dropped. Phil Collins is awesome. I loved him during his early years in Genesis. I was really impressed with that group early on when they were first a rock and roll phenom. Phil Collins is awesome. Peter Gabriel is also awesome. Great talents, individually and collectively. It's probably the two coolest individuals combined into a group of history. The only ones that I can think of, the only other two coolest would be Paul McCartney and John Lennon. And when I refer to Paul McCartney, I don't mean the original Paul McCartney who died in November 9th, 1966. Yeah, he passed away. He was a nice guy, but the guy who looks like him, who's been playing Paul McCartney all these years, that's the guy I'm referring to. Yeah, the AKA Paul McCartney. The one who's so incredibly talented, he can play like 12 instruments. I did watch Sonny and Cher when I was a kid. I watched Donnie and Marie and a few other things. You're talking about job demand? Well, yeah, if businesses are hiring, but you see, Kool-Aid, the businesses didn't get a lot of money. They weren't given a lot of money when they were getting started. American businesses have not been funded, except for Caterpillar, which is now cutting off 5,000 jobs in the wake of a massive loss of, the past couple of years have been disastrous. They took $7 billion, Caterpillar did, from the TARP money. And they went ahead and spent $1.5 billion on an aluminum mining operation in Madagascar, which didn't exist. So what did Caterpillar do? You'd think maybe they'd fire their CEO. No, he stayed on. And they kept continuing to lose money. These are the mistakes that industry in America is making, and we aren't building new industry. That's the problem. We need to stimulate the growth of American business. So you got a lot to talk about, I know, and we definitely have a show you can come in and share every night. I never watched Superfly, no. Your basket has got a lot of people in it. Welcome basket of deplorables. We've got Trump people who are watching me because they know that I'm a lot more edgy than Trump, because I'm the guy who came up with the Trump ideas. So you're like watching the original, not the imitator. Trump didn't come up with the seawater pipeline, we did. He called it an ocean pipeline in 2014 or 2015. But the reality is our idea of the 1,000-mile fence, Sarah and I, that was something we put together. I measured the distance, and I started talking about it in 2008. Other candidates in 2012 brought it up. Michelle Bachmann brought it up. But Trump is the one who's using it now, claiming it's a wall. And Mexico's going to pay for it? I mean, I would never have Mexico pay for it. I'm going to press 1. I think Hillary's been replaced. You are stimulatable, yes. A lot of you just want to get the $400 per month. But that alone is a stimulant right there. That alone is a stimulant. If you'd like me to show you the faces in comparison, I'll show you a direct match on Paul McCartney. So the truth is, in my opinion, and in others, forensic scientists can validate this, people who are experts in the field. An Italian study team put together an analysis of Paul McCartney's face, and they found out it was only a 66% match to the one in 1965. So there you have the controversy right there. Well, yeah, whatever. Okay, the black market will benefit, sure. But that, in a way, has a multiplier effect. Some mother of a drug dealer gets a little bit of money and goes, "Honey, I thought you'd never help me. Thank you so much. I just didn't know I got any money." And the drug dealer comes in and goes, "Yeah, Mom, it's cool. Here's a couple $100, you know." She goes ahead and use that to buy things at the dollar store. The dollar store succeeds. You see, money doesn't stop. They continue to grow. They continue to increase. It has a multiplier effect when you give people money. If I gave you $500 or $400, what would you do with it? Surely a lot of you are calculating, well, I'd like a new Xbox One. For one, I'd like to upgrade. A lot of you are thinking purchases. Some of you are thinking savings. I heard Stephen Hawking's backed up those specialists about Paul, Dave. Paul who? Ron Paul? 365? Stephen Hawking is an artificial intelligence robot. Stephen Hawking has absolutely no proof that he's alive. Anybody who who looked like, every single picture of them looks identical. You look at all the Stephen Hawking pictures, it's a video loop playing over and over again. What we do know about Stephen Hawking is that it is a robot controlled by artificial intelligence, operating out of the UK, possibly an MI6 plant. I am not a robot. Clearly my voice sounds more normal and not controlled, like a robot sounds. Using voice smoothing technology, robots now sound much smoother. No, seriously, I really believe that some things just don't make sense. Stephen Hawking be alive right now? No. Sorry. His condition would have killed somebody 20 years ago. People are incredibly attracted to me. I exude sexuality. I have more sensuality than Bjork. So, I've got a lot of things going for me. People think I'm into sex, but I'm not. That's what makes me so appealing. Yeah, most people are like kind of bummed out when they get, see porn. Because after they get their rocks off, they no longer find it that interesting. Am I right? It's the truth. I mean, how many guys get their, their joystick pulled and then all of a sudden they're asleep in bed? Am I right, ladies? All right. So, because I'm not a person who just goes out and has wild sex all the time, I prefer great sex. I'm a little bit more alluring to people, I think, I just like you, Dave. Are you bi-curious? Well, I'm not. So, thank you. So, a lot of you are thinking about sex constantly, right? And that's the truth. We're not making that up. I will, yeah. I won't. No, I'm actually monogamous. I don't believe in multiple sex partners. I'm not like a Bill Clinton kind of guy. I'm the opposite of Bill Clinton. Instead of, I never had sexual relations with that woman, I would be more like, I've never had sex with anything or anyone, ever. Well, I've never had unprotected sex. I've always used protection. And I urge all of you to do that as well. I really urge you to use protection. I was talking about the rubber up movement a while back on our show. So we are concerned about that. And I do have a very, very positive view toward contraception and prevention as an avoidance of unnecessary unwanted pregnancy. But I have a plan to help the socially conservative people with my first trimester abortion law that I'd like to see put out there. A first trimester abortion law would limit babies aborted to 15 weeks or earlier. Are you serious? Do you really believe that condoms are a sin, Reptoid? Are you like an Orthodox Jew or an Orthodox Catholic? What are you? Well, I've never had unprotected sex, let's just say that. We have an Ozzie and Harriet kind of lifestyle, sure. Trump has been a man who had said openly that don't be surprised if infidelity comes up in this race. And it hasn't come up. So far, Melania hasn't spoken about it. Nobody has any tangible evidence that he raped the 13-year-old girl, except for the 13-year-old girl who's now an old woman. So I can only say that at this point, we do know his sex life at the Studio 54 Club was well known. And I think we can give you some eyewitness testimony from Trump himself. Let's see. I know where it is. It's in the wrong library. It's over here. What difference at this point does it make? I'm working on Hillary's voice in case they have to call me and have me do a stand-in for her. I don't believe in having unprotected sex. That's your problem, man. I don't want you quoting Trump here. Thank you. I was not involved with Joan Jett or Grace Slick. We never, ever had sex. I only slept with a woman that, let's just say she knew Jim Morrison. I'll leave it at that. I date back pretty far. I'm a relic from the 60s. I mean, what can you say? I mean, I'm 56 years old. Yeah. and looking like I do you think I've ever had any problem with sex? Seriously? I don't have any herpes, no. I don't have any sexually transmitted diseases. I was, since this is Truth Tuesday, I'll tell you, I was completely abstinent for 2 8-year periods. Broken up by one wild 2-week bizarre experience I'll never forget, which I'm writing about in my book. All right, let's see if we can find that Trumpism. We have a link library for all of you who are kind of on the edge with Trump. This will throw you over the edge and make you not want to vote for him. So the Dump Trump link library is right here. And I'm going to research that link. I've got some goodies in here that really need to be talked about. Okay, a Dow Jones Industrial Average surrendered yesterday's gains. Yeah, we know that. Hello. We need to see Trump's medical records. Yes, and I want to see his transcripts too. Thank you. Never made out with anybody at a party. I'm not a homosexual. I'm not even bi-curious. The idea of kissing a man is repugnant to me. It's sickening. It's the worst, most heinous act anyone... well, you guys may like it. Maybe you're just totally into it. But, I mean, I can't see myself doing it. Let me just say, I don't want to lay that trip on you. I used an extra large Magnum. Okay, let's see what we got here. I want to bring this stuff in. You're tired of looking at Paul and Fall, so we're going to move him over. Now that you realize you've been lied to, it's a little shocking, isn't it? Let's take a look. This is pretty good considering Trump thinks he can get away with all this stuff. Let's go through these one by one, shall we? Former models for Donald Trump's agency say they violated immigration rules. Oh, that's a good one. That starts your link library off. And then Christie administration magically cut Trump's New Jersey tax debt from 30 million to 5 million. Is that big enough for you to look at? Let me enlarge it a little bit. Let me engorge the print. I mean, enlarge the print. The print is engorged now. Back to the Dow Jones. I'm not gay, dude. Coming from guest 666, you are really sick. You probably are one of Satan's henchmen. It's just unbelievable. I just love the way you guys run with everything I say. I could be like doing a slam poetry contest. And Dobie Gillis could be playing the bongos. Do you even know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Get some backbeat here. Okay, and then let's keep going, because we got 46 links to plow through in deciding if Hillary is too sick to vote for Shillery, or if you want to vote for Trump, or just basically step out of the box and write my name in. That was just me pounding the table. You don't even know who Dobie Gillis is. You were born in probably 2001, am I right? Well, you're too young to be in here. You need to leave and come back. I have never collected debt. I'm all about the debt ending coalition. But I'm not a joiner. I don't know what my boy is. It's some sort of like a denigrating expression a bully calls his bitch. Yeah, he comes in here and calls me my boy thinking I'm his bitch. Yeah, he can't even pay his taxes. Where are his taxes? Where's Trump's taxes if he's worth $10 billion? The lie is starting to really, really show itself. Well, I'm just playing with your mind because obviously people talk about sex all the time. But in no way am I making sex a subliminal discussion other than the fact that sex is discussed constantly whenever I speak about sex. So this is in no way subliminal sex. This is something much, much bigger. This is metacognitive sex, where you're thinking about it and openly discussing it in virtual chat. Maybe you don't like sex, but it likes you. All right, I do. I love women. I've never met a woman I didn't like, and I can honestly say I've been attracted to a lot of women. You know, all the women that people have dated in the past, famous movie stars, people with faces, like, well, surely somebody famous has dated beautiful women. Maybe you know who's dated beautiful women. I'm living with a beautiful woman, so. Anybody? Dwayne Hickman was in a combat episode. Dobie Gillis, yeah. I don't know who these people are. I'm not a geisha girl. No. It's funny you should ask, though, because we have about 922 geisha girls watching us right now from Osaka. Arigato. Welcome to the show. Okay, and now Trump's companies have at least $650 million in debt. And it goes on to talk about his shared $2 billion in debt. These are just as they came in. Trump took $160 million from George Soros. You people who are concerned about the liberal George Soros, you should know that. Yeah, you're the guy who thinks you're the bully in the room, Mr. Guest 153. My boy is something some foghorn leghorn guy would say. My boy, come over here, my boy. I mean, grow up, man. You're starting to sound like one of those Trump racists. Yes, I use Tokyo accent when traveling, not to Osaka. You so funny, Dave. Ha ha ha. That's okay. Just rub a little lower. Okay, here we go. I keep doing that. Yeah, I grabbed the wrong handle. Hang on. Just what were Donald Trump's ties to the mob? Anybody know? Well, somebody does if you go to this link. I'll post it again in the room. You are extremely disturbing, Mr. My Boy. All right, let me show you some more stuff here. It's the phrase OG Mike uses. Oh, really? It's got to be OG Mike. OG Mike is in here calling him a boy, everybody. I never did that, no. Trump, we don't care about his money. It's a liability in this campaign. It makes him, somebody could blackmail him. Because he likes so much money, he could easily be bribed. Yeah. I don't want anyone to blackmail him. Yeah. No, Psychotic Dave, you really are sick. There is no mandatory sodomy law in America. All right. Boy, I'm finally landed on a subject that people truly want to talk about. Sex. It's amazing. So just what were Donald Trump's ties to the mob, eh? Anybody know? I remember Guido was talking a little bit about, Chris Christie and making some moves in environmental cleanliness, with sanitation. I know he made a couple deals when he put those hotels in, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's move on. Trump's missing money. Yeah, this is a good one. Hello from Sicily. Welcome to America from Italy. Bayer Near's acquisition of Monsanto. Wow. So pretty soon we won't be taking a Bayer aspirin, we'll be taking a Roundup aspirin. Did you hear that, this is off the subject of Trump's missing money, but did you hear that most of the vaccines that are being delivered in flu shots have Roundup in it? The product is called glyphosate. Did you hear that? Would you like me to give you a link and show you what's going on with vaccines and Roundup? Well, let's be clear. We will go through our link library and get Roundup vaccines for you right now. Here's another vaccine bombshell. It's being discussed all over the internet. Yeah. You know that vaccines are causing autism and ADHD, as evinced in the movie Vaxxed, which showed that Dr. Thompson actually said that he had to purge all kinds of documents when the CDC asked for them. And his company, the CDC, our company, told him to actually destroy documents that were relevant, showing that 38% of the black kids that took a particular vaccine developed autism or ADHD. 38% is enough to pull a drug or a vaccine from the market. Well, this story is even bigger. We know there's a lot of weird stuff in the vaccines, but now we're finding out that they're putting Monsanto's Roundup in the vaccines. They're literally trying to poison the population.
Well, I just released some data to the Centers for Disease Control, to the Food and Drug Administration, to the National Institute of Health, and to the World Health Organization through my U.S. Senator Gene Shaheen in New Hampshire.
All right, this guy looks like he's legit. We're going to be playing him later tonight at the end of our show. We'll lead off with this one. I didn't get to him last night. I wanted to actually listen to this video. Cool. All right, back to the Trump list. Well, I doubt that, seriously. Anybody like that could easily be manipulated. Bruh. Now, let me see what you found at Goodwill today. Oh, good for you. You were actually checking it out. Now, let me take a look. Could everybody just please stop chatting for a second? Thank you. Appreciate that. You know, by the way, I am one of the first... Whoa, I'm blown away. I am one of the first chatters in America, you know that. I chatted back in 1985. This is pretty impressive, man. You got a JFK memorial something here in the New York Times. The documentary JFK, the presidential years, excellent. Oh, that's awesome. Wow, that's a terrific acquisition, Scissor Fight. I'm a preservationist, and I always like to look at things from I have a big collection, one of the largest collections of ephemera in the world. I started collecting a long time ago, and when you have a lot of just interest in stuff, you want to pick up bargains, you go looking around Goodwill stores. That's amazing. Actually, I don't think Gore made the internet, but I was chatting in 1985 on the Ed Gein network. I don't know if anyone out there in the BBS remembers it, but it was one of the first BBS networks out there. And it was created by a bunch of guys in Hollywood that were, thank you. A bunch of guys in Hollywood, guys and gals in Hollywood that were just absolutely, it was funny. They thought a serial killer named Ed Gein from Indiana was funny. So they called it the Ed Gein Network. It was kind of a weird way to start off chatting. You found a Trump tie at Goodwill. You know, I've been looking for those. This is as close as I could get. This is a Van Heusen. It's not a solid color. I was chatting before you were a chromosome in your dad's testicle sac. I don't want to talk to a serial killer, but the whole idea was to actually turn out a weird network, and we got a lot of weird responses back then. It was hilarious. So that another vaccine bombshell was very, very interesting about glyphosate. Let's move on. He's got $63 million missing. This link will take you to the story that the FEC has not seen Trump tell anybody where that money's going. And it's weird, he's not buying TV advertising. And what's equally weird is Clinton is not buying a lot of poster advertising. Have you seen a lot of posters in your area? I have not seen a lot. We're tracking down the truth tonight. That's pretty cool. High speed in 2006. Let me convert to this section here and do a search. You're watching me search on the internet. According to Steve Piesnik, he's not really a peacenik at all. He says that World War III will start September 25th. Let's see what he said about JFK. Oh, we're talking about Alex Jones here? Oh, thank you. Not true, 2510. In the swing states, Clinton still leads Trump. Team Clinton is trying to contain the fallout of her stumbling and her falling into the van and looking like she was dead. The cancellations begin as Team Hillary contains the severity of the fallout. We know that she's not well. If she has pneumonia, it could take up to 2 weeks for her to get back on her feet. But what's sure and clear by this whole event out of the DNC is that they put a fake Hillary in place of her. And we're not sure why. If only to look like they're absolute numbskulls who probably don't even know what they're doing, because it's going to hurt them in the long run to put a fake Hillary in the play right now. No, we're looking at a fake Hillary right now. She's out there on the campaign trail. It's not even her. I did notice John Lennon glasses, and I was wondering what happened to mine. I was looking for them earlier. Just give a piece of chance. I somehow misplaced my John Lennon glasses. Crisis actress. Yeah, well, she's some sort of a paid impersonator. And now the moment of truth about cash. You know, we've always said that cash was king. Well, it may be they want to get rid of cash. This is how the feds will ban cash. We came back from South America poorer but wiser, according to this author. For the first time ever, we've had to face the reality of politics. Up until now, it was never more than an abstract. Okay. All right, criminalizing cash. Take poor, wants to this headline. This is the side of cash. Person noted that large notes is like $100 bills facilitate crime, racketeering. Large notes make it easier for criminals to operate. How it all ends. There's something fundamentally tranquilizing about having a central bank that gives out the word that it's got your back. The Bank of Japan is buying bonds and stocks, pushing up prices for both. According to Reuters, it will soon run out of corporate bonds. The European Central Bank will have to follow the Bank of Japan's lead and wade into the stock market if it wants to keep its QE program going. It's a very complicated story. I can't really process it at this point. But we all know that Hillary wants to ultimately get us hooked to, obviously the chip, the RFID chip that they want to install on people. And she's made some pretty outrageous statements historically. You're Islamophobic, homophobic, and Afrophobic. I think many people in the Trump plan really are racist. I don't think that's a far stretch. A lot of them don't want to come into my camp because I don't want to single out Muslims and ID them like Trump wants to. We want to deal with the jihadist elements by getting their weapons reduced to one weapon per person. I've already talked about ending the IRS. That's my idea. And ending the Fed as well. Those are my ideas. He's taken 14 of my ideas. He's using them as if his own. My idea of no refugees was put out there 4 years ahead of him. You're femophobic. We do need transparency. And I'm the only guy out there with a show every night. And I'll keep 1 hour shows in the White House. I promise you that. Now, your statement is outrageous. Yeah. What statement are you referring to about me? Oh, that half of Trump's camps are racist? No, they really are. Oh, yeah. We're the non-racist, pro-border fence people. You see, we gather with ideas and we figure out how to pay for them, like using prison labor. In our current prisons, we have 400,000 illegal aliens. That's a solution, not having Mexico pay for it. You see, Trump is comprised of a bunch of bullies and airheads. I call them Trump-tards. And whenever they're asked a question, they get ridiculous, like Trump. They just go off the deep end and start calling people names or pushing them, like they did in North Carolina when those people were protesting. Trump was inciting a riot. That's what North Carolina is beginning to investigate. Yeah. Pushing people who disagree with him. Having his Trump people, thugs, come into the audience, hitting people and threatening them, even women. We saw it before our very eyes at the beginning of our show. Unbelievable. Famous superfood company covers up death of its own founder to keep selling heavy metal products. Customers kept in the dark. Wow. And he's calling for the company to come clean. Well, what is the company? Does he even say? Okay, yeah. But a superfood company. He's just calling it a superfood company. He doesn't want to get sued. That's why he's saying this company. All right. Thank you. That wasn't really Trump. That was some guy on the internet, probably Rodney. Tom Sponheim. He is a distant relative of mine. Yeah. No, actually, Trump wants to... I've been the one talking about enforcing the laws and getting people who are illegals to not get hired by just telling every person hiring them it's a federal felony. That's my idea. Again, that's one of my ideas Trump stole. Enforcing the laws on the books. I've got video of me saying that in 2008. No, I'm not sharing any factual information. We're simply looking at stuff tonight. Yeah, you've been reducing your debt since 2003. How far are you? How much debt do you have left? 638. And remember, I only have a 3-second attention span in this chat room. But if you were sitting here with me, I'd be talking to you 100% of the time. I'm great with eye contact. I really listen. I'm a good listener. $3,000 is not bad. You're getting there. That's good. It's conspiracy fact night. So the fact that we are being sprayed with chemtrails really needs to be addressed. This past week, or actually about 3 weeks ago now, the director of the CIA, John O'Brennan, went out and talked about how he wants to just do this, as if we're going to plan on doing it.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly. As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community.
Yeah, like maybe we don't want to get sprayed like insects. They don't do any long-term studies on this. They're using aerosols, which ultimately destroy the ozone. And the science behind everything he just said is absolutely non-existent. This just in. Warren Buffett loses $1.4 billion.
What's behind this change?
Well, Tuesday was a tough day for banks in general, but especially so for Wells Fargo. It's down some 6% from Thursday when it was hit with a $185 million fine. A regulator finding that its staffers were overselling, aggressively selling to the customers, selling them 2 million fake accounts they didn't even know existed. So check out how that impacted the market cap.
We sure will. Thanks from Bloomberg. We now go to Tom Brokaw at NBC Studio. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, thank you, Dave. It's Tom Brokaw, NBC. I would like to talk about the Clinton healthcare scare, Dave.
Trump will end the Fed. What are you kidding? Hey, we got a real ass in here. Let me just call him out what he is. And he doesn't have any backing behind his statements. And he's saying Trump says this, Trump says that. Trump has never said anything about ending GMOs. He never said he wanted to end the Fed. In fact, he's part of the Fed. And he spends his time ignoring chemtrails. Now, I'm going to show you the chemtrail alley right in front of you that you probably don't see when you're driving around the road because you've been programmed to kind of consider all these lines in the sky to be absolutely normal. You say, we're all watching it in film and television. Hello, welcome from Marcelo Gogan is from Brazil. Welcome, Marcelo. Hello, good evening. We have a strident chatter from Brazil. No, my boy. He hasn't mentioned GMOs or anything, my boy. Yeah, you're just lying through your teeth right now, my boy. I don't believe anyone should have a mandatory transgender bathroom. Now, Trump may want mandatory transgender bathrooms. He's soft on gay marriage. I'm against gay marriage because I'm against all marriage. I think if you want to get married, it's a spiritual thing, and the government should get its head out of our personal lives. It's clearly a violation of the separation of church and state for any state to authorize a marriage contract. So what world are we living in here, where the Supreme Court doesn't even factor in the 14th Amendment? Equal protection under the law? Okay, let me get my chemtrail video in, and we'll watch it in the background. And you can say, oh no, that's just condensation coming out of the jet. Yeah, watch this. Yeah, and you thought you were going to get away with that one. No, I already got you covered on that one. Okay, let's take a look here. This says, Friends of Hillary says she has Parkinson's. So the days are numbered, folks. Jerome Corsi is doing some detailed investigative journalism work here. Hillary Clinton has stage 3 Parkinson's disease and suffers from seizures, according to 3 sources who have a personal relationship with the Democratic Party presidential nominee. Okay, we're going to have to look for somebody else to replace her. I would recommend me. Thank you. Now, you're lying about everything about Trump. Everything this guy's saying is a lie. Thanks, Peter Goose. So we've got confirmation. It's time for me to get into the debates, everybody. Tell you what, I'm going to pretend to debate Bernie right now. So, Bernie, why didn't you ask Hillary about the emails? I'm sorry for not asking about the emails, but it's the problem here because the rich people are trying to become richer. And, Marcelo gone? What do you mean? Marcelo's here. Peter Goose, haven't seen you in a while. Is Marcelo upset or something? Lemon, you've got something I want to look at. Battle of the presidential body doubles. Apparently there is a person out there that is duplicating...
From being literally loaded into a van to a peppy rebound.
Jeannie
a couple of
Moos.
hours later...
Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you very much. The speed of Hillary Clinton's recovery was too much for some.
It was not Hillary.
Jeannie Most, probably the worst voice in American television who gets all kinds of free money for just doing voiceovers, has got a video there. I don't have Hillary's double vision correction glasses, but that would be funny, wouldn't it? Let me see if I can get the Hillary glasses that she has. Here we go. These would be the Hillary glasses. What difference at this point does it make? I mean Shillery. I'm sorry. Hey, yo, I know peddling conspiracy theory and I'm making fun of conservatives, yo. What are you, just one big bully who needs his ass kicked? Looks like you are one, 247. You know how ass kicking goes down with bullies, don't you? Yeah. Remember what I said, buddy. It's coming back to haunt you. Here's 43 seconds of humor.
It's the all-new Donald Trump action figure! I'm really rich. Unleash the power of the smartest, richest, and most powerful man!
Wow, look at his normal-sized hand!
Heartless Hillary is mounting an attack!
Donald Trump's ideas are dangerously incoherent.
Hillary, you're fired. You got Trump, but wait, it's the evil Robo-Obama.
In politics and in life, ignorance is not a virtue.
He doesn't have a clue.
Donald Trump saves the day! Make America great again!
Yeah, that's not that funny, buddy. Yeah, I'm actually gonna get rid of it. It's that bad. Taking names and kicking bad. Yeah. Okay, we got some information in here on Obama's tax collections surpass $20 trillion, and he still runs up a debt by $8.878 trillion. Okay, this is the number that CNS News is reporting, folks. Sarah, he's taken in $20 trillion in taxes from people in the 8 years he's been president. And he overspent $8.8 trillion on top of all the money he brought in. That's how spendy he was. Unbelievable. Thank you. And inventor Jim Genius over at iVlog says it's all controlled by the Illuminati. Thank you. They are puppets of the Freemason power. Thanks, inventor Jim. And when we look at Trump's connection to the Freemasons, oh man, that's just unbelievable. He actually went to the Scottish Rite Mason meeting about 3 months ago, and he asked them for money to help his campaign.
Which is so ridiculous because it's not, you can't do that. You can't, that's against FEC rules.
Exactly.
Federal Election Commission rules.
Cap Downey, you're really reaching there, buddy. I'm going to have to purge you. Sorry. I'm not muting you. No, he actually went to the Scottish Rite Mason meeting, and he was awarded an award posthumously, but he's still living. I didn't mean posthumously. Obama thought he was Martin Luther King. His acceptance speech in the Denver convention in 2008 was indicative of him pretending to be Martin Luther King and not pulling it off. It was very, very strange. They say that's the only thing that he's ever written, Obama. Part of the fraud charges will be a detailed case I have against Barack Obama, in which I'm going to be prosecuting him when I'm elected on plagiarization. And I believe that he plagiarized his 2 books, Audacity of Hope and Dreams from My Father. I have solid, verifiable evidence that the writer of both of those books was a close friend of Barack Obama's. So, I mean, we have pretty good information to verify that he had someone else do those horrible books. David, Sarah is not. She's in great shape. God, she's been looking fantastic. Sarah and I have been swimming together, too. My boy, stop talking. Get out of here, my boy. You can call in. What is your question if you'd like to post it here?
Just type it.
Just type it right here and I'll read it. Deuce. Duke of Earl. Okay, we got more leaks from the DNC. This is how much it costs to get an ambassador. Ambassadorship. Guccifer 2.0 leaks. DNC pay-to-play donor list. Whoa. Oh my goodness. They pulled up an email, Sarah, and Zero Hedge has this. 100,000 alleged donors are looking to actually, there's a pay-to-play. You can actually get an ambassadorship if you donate enough money to the DNC. Wow. It's just unbelievable, the layer of corruption that's going on here in our country. That is freaky. Thanks for that link. Sarah's in great shape, yeah. Nope, never had any homosexual urges. You are absolutely out of your mind. I haven't really thought about the ISS Zarya space station simply because I think it's some sort of an underwater theater that the NASA has developed. They've been hiring a lot of naval divers, and they have an underwater division for NASA. So I'm beginning to think that the International Space Station is an underwater stage. Just call me whatever, but that's what I think. Okay, we have a doctor. Bible study just came in, exclusive. Hillary Clinton definitely has Parkinson's. Doctor confirmed. Okay. Thank you. We've got that flying in the news. Doctor confirmed. Campaign fitted with all kinds of medical gear. Trump is definitely rising in certain polls simply because people are getting concerned about Hillary. But what we're not seeing is the beginning of this wonderful third-party movement as it forms here on the internet. You guys can't see the backbone of what this site is right now. Many of you see this site and you look at it and you'll see this in archive on YouTube. And you'll say, wow, there's not that many people here. Well, you see this site right here? There's about 50,000 people trying to get in here. And they're getting capacity server messages right now. We are seeing it's lagging. Yep. It's lagging. Yes, Deuce. And we are getting millions of views through the bumped up networks of UHF. The UHF channels are open on the networks overseas in Asia, Australia, New Zealand. Even Latvia is watching us. I'm not in the race simply because the mainstream media will not allow me. We have audio here. Yes, we can hear me. Well, you have audio problems. So do not post any poll data for other people, since I haven't had a single coverage story by the mainstream media. You are seeing censorship going on right now against a movement which will dethrone the two-party system. You will simply see the growth of word of mouth that I put in play 8 years ago that the elitists cannot control right now. If you believe in flat earth like Trump does, you'd have to be mentally retarded. Trump is on record, saying the earth is flat. It's called Operation Shoot the Moon. It's a CIA operation to turn you into a mental vegetable.
There's a book called The Earth is Flat, I think.
Yeah.
Was he referring to the book or what?
Thanks, Peter Goose. No, the Earth is Flat movement has been growing rapidly on the blogosphere, and it's mostly developed on sites produced by the internet moguls, the Allied Signal Corps. They're the ones that do a lot of the censoring on the government sites. They're the ones that post fake stories. I'll be right back.
Okay, take a break. Or is it The World is Flat? I mean, I know Thomas Friedman wrote a book about that, but it wasn't really about a flat world. It was about, like, all different economies getting created at a time. Yes. No, Deus, you can't call in right now to ask a question. I don't answer questions when it's just me hosting. You can call when David's back. Oh, true. The polls are probably before Hillary caught pneumonia. I'm not going to look at it, Anne Freak. I really rather not. Where's the big hair? It's on my head. Currently being pinned in place. Yeah, I understand. I'm amazed at politics too. Yeah. Thanks. Well, David does have a lot of great ideas. And ideas don't need sources to back them up always. Oh. That's sad. Kool-Aid Anthrax if it's real. A news story he posted. I don't need my own show. I do enough just giving David a break here. That is perfectly fine with me. I don't need to do any kind of my own show. Nope, I am not 252. If I am elected vice president, then I will release my tax returns. Or if I were on the ballot in enough states to actually be elected vice president, I would release my tax returns. But since I'm not, I won't. Yes, you can write David's name in. That's what it says. Write in David Sponheim. Ooh, you want me to make cornbread? Milk, buttermilk? I don't have any buttermilk. Vegetable oil, cornmeal, all-purpose flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt. Do I have baking powder? I think I do. I could do that, except I don't have buttermilk. That's pretty cool, though. Well, I appreciate your sentiments, and you can campaign however you see fit. No, there isn't any voting online. I believe in online voting. I think it can be secure and safe and secret. I actually do, but I know how to make it happen too. But if people don't, they can always contact me and I can give them the idea and then they can do the coding. Oh, thank you, Shaz. It's possible that it's hackable, but it's also possible. The thing is to be both secret and transparent. That's when if you can learn how to be secret and transparent simultaneously, which I have ways to do that, then you could actually do the online voting. I'm okay. Are you okay? You don't think you can be secret and transparent? If you're interested in learning how, just ask, and I will explain what I mean. Moisturizers cause tumors, according to Earth Sky's link. It could have happened, real Trump. I don't think so, but it could have happened. All right, I'm going to check in what's going on in the news. My favorite news sources are Google News, only because I like how they get everything together in one place. And then I also like USA Today. Correct, 182. Oh, on a stamp.
Okay,
Just kidding. That's pretty funny. Well, 864. All right. So the New York Attorney General is going to investigate Donald Trump's nonprofit. John Strumpf, the Mr. Clean of American banking, is getting a scandal of his own. All right. Vascular dementia? Wonder what that is. People are saying Hillary suffers from it. I don't know. All right. Apple Watch. There's 11 new features in the Watch OS 3. Nice. All right. Bill and Chelsea Clinton are campaigning. They claim that Hillary is recovering from pneumonia. Oh, that sounds cool. They had Gordon Lightfoot playing up in up in Vermont. I like Gordon Lightfoot. I guess it's my own personal newsfeed. All right. All right. Ivanka is out campaigning with her dad. And Carl Icahn is still mulling a bid for Herbalife. Southern California reached a $4 million settlement over a natural gas leak. Oh. Apple has to pay money to Ireland, but then that could have a problem with then they could claim a foreign tax credit, which would lower their tax bill in America. WikiLeaks confirmed that. Thank you, 353. Shimon Peres, former, am I saying that right? Maybe. Former Prime Minister of Israel suffered a stroke recently. Oh, and there's a super typhoon in South Taiwan. And guess what the U.S. is doing in Israel? Sending them military aid. What does military aid mean? Probably weapons. Don't believe you. 750. No such record. All right. 289, your link was removed because you have to sign in as guest to post links. David doesn't smoke cigarettes. He stopped smoking those a long time ago. If he ever did, I don't know. He's never smoked them around me, so he doesn't smoke them. All right. Israel is denying a claim that Syria shot down a warplane in drone. Oh, denies a claim by Syria? I don't know. That's not the real Mr. Trump 297, and I don't believe it. Oh, you're off to play General Gettysburg? Okay. No, 297. We will see if we can increase it once David's in office. Good night, Mad Dog. Thank you. All right. Sure that happened, 163. He would do that when he's in the middle of a show. No. How cold is it on the moon? I would think it's pretty cold. I don't know, but the lack of oxygen, you wouldn't be able to survive. And I'm sure it's hot when the sun is hitting it and cold at night. Or cold at when the sun isn't hitting the surface.
It's getting a little cooler right now. Yeah. September. It's always like an Indian summer, though, in October. Yeah, Hillary Clinton has Parkinson's, yeah. So we're kind of putting together another plan to bypass the Democratic Party, and we'd like all of you to become centrists and vote for me. Yeah, isn't that great?
Water, food, housing, healthcare. That's what I would do in the first 60 days if I was elected with David.
Right. Water, housing, healthcare.
Water, food, housing, healthcare.
Water, food, housing, healthcare. But back to the basics. We wrote about this in our book. Sarah and I are united on everything we want to do to fix the country. There are some side things that I would like to make happen. The first thing I will do is legalize marijuana, because I don't think we need to spend wasteful dollars on the interdiction of marijuana crop growth. All of that could be turned into profit instead of turning our country against itself like we've been doing with the DEA charging $25 billion a year just to go after marijuana growers. It's crazy. Considering over 20 states, and we're looking at possible recreational use in California coming up with this election, the tide is there for us to go toward legalization, and there's no reason why we would make it illegal. It seems like prohibition, reversed all of that was reversed, and then why aren't we reversing this? I mean, what's wrong with us? Why did our ancestors have more power to overturn the anti-alcohol laws of the 1930s than we have currently? Actually, it was the 20s and 30s. David Trump was on announcing, no, that's not true. He never announced 400 or 500 or anything. No. If he really is saying 500 a month, could you verify that to me? Because I can't just take hearsay from somebody calling me my boy. It's not enough for me to just come in here and talk like that. If he really is announcing a 500 a month plan, then my plan worked. I've been trying to push a plan that'll actually get spike the dialogue in politics. If this is happening, really, I mean, I'm really surprised if he would take that idea and use it. I don't know. I think it's a different person. You're talking about the guy that came on Vaughn tonight who's got a mask on? That's not the same guy, man. Yeah, we have an Earth flat Trump. You guys who have the Trump link when he posted that statement on Alex Jones that the Earth is flat and he confirmed it, could you? Yeah, get that to me ASAP.
Yes, I did ban Mr. Trump 2017. That's
good.
True.
Thank you.
You claimed, I'll give $500 a month.
Yeah, right. You know, this is one of the most interesting pictures I've ever seen, because theoretically it could have been faked.
Theoretically it could have been real.
But theoretically it could have been real. And theoretically there's absolutely no reason to believe that there isn't a place on the moon where you can take a picture of this and see exactly that. So in a way we're looking at the truth even though it may be fake. So technically this could be the fake truth, this picture. Thank you very much. Well, I dress up for the show every night because I'm always impressed to have people in the show who want to hear us talk, because Sarah and I started this 8 years ago. Well, Randy, could you get me the link? You know more about Trump. Could you get me the erroneous link claiming that Trump said that the Earth was flat? Because you know where it is, right? You debunked it already. You know, Kool-Aid Anthrax, I'm sure you are in some way reading your mind, that you're a mind reader, and you're projecting those thoughts onto your own platter, your own RAM disk, your own random access memory is receiving what is called a mirror image of your thought. People do this when they sleep. They think about something and then they dream about that. Well, you're actually just projecting an image onto your own brain. I believe it could be fake. I believe that this, but we're not here to discuss the moon landing tonight. That's a conspiracy theory, that it never happened. We talk about that on Mondays. We are here to talk about the dangers of chemicals in our environment, Radio frequencies, honestly, fact, do cause and contribute to brain cancer. The World Health Organization has openly stated this. The director has actually got a statement on the site now talking about it. The fact is, radio frequencies are not being heavily discussed in America, and we need to talk about it. They have been known to cause and trigger brain cancer. Also, the smart meter. We talked about smart meters this past Monday. Last Monday, I had a tutorial, and I showed you guys how I made a Faraday cage that goes on the outside of our meter reader, which is a smart reader, which just sends a signal to my electric company. And this in no way impairs the signal. It only stops the field energy from going back at me. Now, if you're living in an apartment complex and out your window where you sleep, there's a grid of these things, you need to move to a new location in that apartment building. Seriously. Come up with some reason, like it smells. But you need to move to another area because there have been known cases of people getting brain cancer living near those junction boxes. Okay? So there's billions on the table. Bayer, a company that was originally started in Nazi Germany, now wants to buy the nemesis Monsanto for an undisclosed amount, and they're raising the number as we speak. These Nazi companies want control of these unbelievably poisonous companies that are creating genetically modified food that is causing cancer in laboratory animals. I don't know why I even have to talk about this every night, because people should be like outraged that this stuff is being pushed on us by Monsanto and other companies. Big Pharma now wants to buy Big Ag. Isn't this unbelievable? We don't. No, we don't. I can't believe we waited so long to make it. Isn't that a song? I can feel your thought. Where are the studies? Well, I want to know where they are too. That's why I asked you, Randy. Could you go look for that for me? All right. Well, this is what Sarah and I do at night. We read. We're avid readers of the internet. So you're kind of like joining us in our living room reading. No, Randy, I don't bribe people. This is not the Clinton initiative. No, the actual Nazis actually embedded themselves in our government, my boy. Sarah's not bored. She's just always learning. She's a very inquisitive person.
I was reading.
Reptoid says that Bear invented heroin. Are you sure? I think that may have predated Bear. I'm going to be a cartoon character back behind the scenes here.
Okay.
No, I did not imply. I said alleged rape of a 13-year-old, my boy. Yeah. Well, she's pursuing the case. All I can say is I brought you a link. That's as close as I could get to a news story. This is what you guys do with Sarah in the room. She just watches and reads and kind of talks to you.
No, I mean, I talk to them, but not when you're in the room.
No, I want you to pretend like I'm not in the room.
Oh, no. I just talk to people. I don't know.
Bayer owned Auschwitz. Look at that. They probably own Treblinka and Dachau and all the other FEMA camp facilities in Germany. Well, can any of you tell me why we haven't been back to the moon in 47 years, or is that kind of a heavy question you don't want to go to right now? This ingredient isn't food, but most Americans eat it. Wow. It's not a fruit, it's not a vegetable, it's not a grain. So what is it? Cottonseed oil, made from a byproduct of the industrial waste from the cotton farming industry, which isn't a food crop. Cotton crop waste is also used to make some cellulose additives when wood isn't used. That's added to products like Kraft shredded cheese. Oh, wonderful. You'll find these cotton byproducts in hundreds of mainstream processed foods because they're cheap to produce and have long shelf life. Cotton waste is also fed to conventional farm animals as a way to cheaply dispose of it and artificially bulk up their feed.
Cottonseed oil.
I'm going to stop eating something. I don't know what.
Well, David always looks for non-GMO food, and he's a good, healthy person.
I sure am, Sarah. But it's getting harder and harder to eat right in this world of toxicity and poisonings by our government.
I had some of your pasta salad.
Well, you were eating some pretty tough squid there.
It's all right.
I bought $2.99 a pound squid and put it in my pasta salad, but
I don't know. I know that you did that.
But it's actually good stuff because it was farmed off the coast of Argentina, in the southern waters where there's less radiation. Get some sleep. Thank you. Get some rest. I'll be in just about an hour. Thank you. We'll do some Netflix and chill. We're watching an amazing show tonight. Thank you so much, Sarah. That was awesome. Yay! Wasn't that great, everybody? Thank you. Oh, yeah, second round. What show? I'll show you what show. It's a show on Netflix called The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. And it is fantastic. The thing is, it's hilarious. It's funny. It's her first day out of being a mole, one of the mole women, underground, held by a preacher and apocalyptic survivalist. And she makes it to the big city, and it's so funny. Sarah is awesome, yeah. Dude, you're so useless, my boy. Yeah, well, get to the Mars. So if you haven't seen this show, it's absolutely hilarious. Unbreakable. She's alive, damn it. I love it. Sarah and I can't get the jingle of the opening out of our heads. So we watch that because it gives us 30 minutes to realize that we're not numb and we're actually alive in this life. Yeah, and then we go back to our comatose state of constantly doing the same thing. Yeah. If I had my way, we'd be Netflix and chilling the whole night doing these shows. And we haven't had another discussion in iVlog for a long time, so I'm going to sign off of iVlog coming up at 9 o'clock, unless I see any more chatters over there. Walmart is developing a self-driving shopping cart. And a rat is caught prematurely biting a baby in an incubator. Let's start with the one in the incubator. No, that's forbidden. That's not happening. Earth Sky, that didn't come in. And Walmart is developing a self-propelling car. This self-propelling car, shopping cart, in the future, shopping carts.
Walmart is working on a self-driving shopping cart that customers can hail. The retailer filed a patent for a cart that has a motor and video cameras. The best part, it can return itself from customers' cars to the store.
Isn't it amazing? It drives itself. It parks itself.
Right there is the best part. Go away, get away from my car, go back to your home, and don't make me push you back.
The shopping carts I've seen at stores are so beaten up. People would have those things broken in a second.
Probably true.
Right.
I would imagine someday we'll be able to shop ourselves with a remote-controlled shopping cart and just fill it up ourselves. And it doesn't even have to be a real store. It could be something in the Matrix. It may be possibly an illusion. You might have food in the store, that you might be eating a steak, a rich, red, juicy steak. You might feel like you're enjoying the steak. You might even have a delivery man come to the door and say, "Oh, we've got your steak, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson." Hey, Dave, any help selling my table and rug on Craigslist? No. Just be sure to mark it real low, because everything on Craigslist sells for next to nothing. You are simply watching a film of some shopping cart going through the store, so you think that you have a store and a shopping cart. It's simply amazing how they've altered the Matrix to make you understand nothing and see everything. Everything is at your disposal. The Walmart world will be your instant virtual reality.
I would like to order 2 orange juices and a dozen eggs with a milkshake.
And you will see that appear before you as if it was manifest. And you will be opening up your mouth like a gargoyle and receiving your little daily protein bar instead. And you'll have all the flavors of the egg and the malt. But you'll be hooked up to the vestibule of the organ harvesting machine as it melts you down into biofuel by the cybernetic organism that has taken over the world. That is your future. That is what the two parties deliver. The breakdown of our society, the conversion of everything into a mechanized, artificial, cybernetic world run by rich people who simply want to give you a little token of your appreciation as you go on your way to being exterminated.
I ate yogurt recently, Randy. I had some blueberry yogurt, and it made me feel more intelligent.
There's nothing Morpheus can do about it. He has no power here, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, anyway, we were playing the Matrix show in my mind. I just thought I'd share that with you. Yes, well, I'm getting bored with you vloggers, I gotta tell you. Things are not moving. Matuta says, David Sponheim for president. Thank you, Matuta. And Eddie Compton says, hello to the American Third Party from Virginia. Welcome. Some people say that this show is kind of like the Wally George of the blogosphere. I don't think so. You know, Wally George was really conservative. I'm a little more liberal. You know, I'm a person who supports right-wing issues, like right to bear arms and making sure no grown men eat quiche. And it would be a Vincent Price imitation if I wanted to imitate him. Blueberry is brain food, my boy. Yes, it is, my boy. Thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Yogurt you get in stores is GMO sugar, non-bacterial trash.
You are correct, sir. If you do not look for non-GMO yogurt now, you are getting corn syrup
stuck in your body, forcing you to have unusual symptoms, like a laboratory animal.
Yes, I can, limited black man, Randy. You know full well I can talk like a black man. Y'all come in here all the time asking me that question.
Good night, Eddie. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been wonderful.
I am holding up my prop hand. We will have a guest speech from Hillary shortly to fulfill the Hillary campaign schedule on time.
I do believe in reincarnation. I don't know. You know, I had some interesting experiences. You want to get down to talking about reincarnation? I have prenatal memory, and I don't know what to do with it. It's kind of like postnasal drip, but worse. Yeah, I mean, how do you have prenatal memory? I'm trying to get to that. Now, my mother, she thought that she had another life at a different time in life, and she actually went so far as to talk about it with people. And I'm not sure. It's all in my book. You'll hear about it. I'm not going to give you any more than that.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, the Earth is round, and we don't have a flat Earth. Don't worry about that. That's just a government plot to take your mind off of the reality that you're being sprayed like an insect. We know that Clinton has a twin, but this is not the one. The new twin is different. She is a completely hidden character that's been kept in the dark for years, only to be used in the event something happens like Hillary screwing up with her horrible event that happened. We don't know if she lived through it, because people say that she was turning blue when she was entering the van on 9/11. We think that she's in some sort of a secret healthcare facility at Chelsea's apartment. Yeah, this is a different woman, though, and she's evolved into a slightly different look. But yesterday we had the Hillary Clinton appearance in front of us. Let's take a look at the healthcare van that she has currently. That has all the state-of-the-art equipment. This is from True Pundit, and this came in the show earlier, my boy. And we're looking at a heavily retrofitted van, including an automated external defibrillator and a rear napping bed. So you're taking a look at this site right now with me in real time. Secret Service man stands guard. The napping area for Hillary so she can lay down with a blankie. Very soft, very smooth. Good for parking at that Walmart parking lots and sleeping with their windows closed. And then, of course, the complete overhead, oxygen, etc. High end. It goes right back into a seating position. Very amazing stuff. Yeah, so she's equipped with that. That we do know. Dude, I don't think you understand. I'm against the two-party system, my boy. Trump is an establishment figure in the two-party system. What about that do you not understand? I mean, God, you must have been on the internet for the past 10 years. You must have been watching the growth of awareness about the New World Order. Henry Kissinger met with Trump just 2 months ago. I mean, these people own him now. And you people are like hook, line, and sinker. Well, Trump's, oh yeah, she's gonna... No wonder she said the deplorables. I mean, before she passed away, she made us at least one powerful statement against... Oh, Hillary's still alive? I'm sorry. I stand corrected, sorry. Before we thought she passed away, she said that the deplorables, she regretted that statement. I actually think she's pretty right on about that statement. I'm calling them Trump-tards. And I will protect their rights as citizens, but honestly, these guys are bullies. Now, this is Natural News, talks about the new wireless headphones emitting radiation right next to your brain. Now, Apple's new wireless headphones actually communicate from one ear to the other, and they send their signals, your Bluetooth signals, right through your brain. I saw a review of this before. It's unbelievable. Cordless conventional earbuds are not needed. They're dubbed AirPods. They will also fire dangerous cancer-causing radiation directly into the brains of users, experts have warned. So these people who are developing this technology are doing it without any oversight by public health. But according to Joel Moskowitz of UC Berkeley, more than 200 scientists who study the effects of electromagnetic fields in the body have gone on record criticizing the FCC guidelines as far too lenient. Far too lenient. So we are dealing with people that don't do their job, bureaucrats sitting there corrupt as hell, collecting a paycheck. Well, this is the deal, my boy. I'm running against Trump, too, so I'm spreading bad stories about both of them. You deal with it, my boy. Oh, Cheney and Bush were terrible, yeah. But the bullying going on in the Trump camp is a tantamount to the only other type of any kind of a political event in history would be the appearance of Adolf Hitler, when his stormtroopers pushed people around in Germany whenever they spoke up at the rallies that were financed by the Zionists who are financing Donald Trump. The very families of the Zionists that financed Adolf Hitler to power. You don't think Adolf Hitler rose to power on his own good looks? Seriously, have you seen him lately? Well, of course he's dead. But just like Donald Trump, not a very good-looking guy, but at the same time, big mouth, willing to suck up to greedy powers above him, willing to do what the greedy money mongers will tell him to do. A good puppet, my boy. So we got Adolf Hitler and we got Donald Trump. I mean, what can I tell you, Trump-tards? How can I convince you that he is an establishment figure who represents the Zionist control of our country, and that's why you and your family members are going to be facing some grief when your son goes off to war in Syria because Donald Trump did what Israel told him to do? My boy. I think the new and improved Hillary is, I think she's going to reappear as a stronger character. Hillary will be back. Yes. She will be back. Hillary will be back. And she will probably blow you away in terms of her ability to impersonate the real Hillary. The real Hillary, folks, I think may be on her last leg or may have died. I'm just guessing, but it looked to me, when they said that she was blue going into that van, And you saw her body go totally limp. She wasn't stumbling like the mainstream media said. Trump is an absolute corporate pig. He will suck up to the Zionist state, and he's already asked AIPAC for money. You know, Trump went over to AIPAC about 2.5, 3 months ago and got out there in front of AIPAC with a teleprompter and read the entire speech off a teleprompter to AIPAC, and how he was sucking up to these Zionists, I can't tell you. He is so uninformed of the danger of Zionism because he is a Zionist. No, you guys are misinformed. Hitler was a Zionist, you idiot. God, man. You seriously think that Israel was in the works after World War II? The persecution of the Jews by Adolf Hitler, and he was half Jewish, his father was Jewish. The persecution of the Jews by Adolf Hitler was part of the final solution, in which he wanted to get rid of the vast proportion of the lower Jews. You see, the Jewish people will actually go out against each other. It's not uncommon. And when I speak of Zionism, I'm speaking specifically of non-Jews, the Rothschilds. So I don't really want to paint a picture that Jewish people are really at odds here. They're not. The Zionists, the Bush family Zionists, the Masons, the Trump, even Clinton's a Zionist. These people control the world, and that comprises the New World Order. Now, you Trump-tards who have not clued in over the past 10 years while we were screaming at you people are just going in lockstep with the goose-stepping mindset of the same type of people that supported Adolf Hitler, like the stormtroopers, the SA. Trump has been reading his speeches off a teleprompter for some time. Now, I'm going to tell you real flat out, simply put, he is their mouthpiece, because the people that control the world control both sides of the political spectrum. Do you think they would have let Donald Trump in and allowed him to take the Republican nomination if you thought that Trump wasn't a complete Zionist under their control? Look at the American population and how we've seen our foreign policy evolve over the past, say, 10 years. Supporting a war in Iraq, actually for 15 years, Iraq and Afghanistan, and ultimately hedging our position to protect Israel by going after Syria and Iran in so many different areas. We are essentially doing the bidding of Israel. Now, I don't personally have a problem with Israel as a state existing, and I've often said that I will not send ground troops into the Middle East. I told you that. We will subtract troops. Trump wants to add to the military. He's even said he wants to expand the military. He said it last week. And he's even said he was going to send ground troops into Iran just to cover Israel's ass. Totally. Hitler was put in power by the richest of the rich. They financed his campaign in Germany. Donald Trump is being put in power and funded right now by the richest of the rich. There's a total similarity here. You know, I don't want to discuss a child care policy when I already discussed our new plan to phase out CPS. And this has been something I've been talking about on our show for the past 4 years. Phasing out CPS and bringing in orphanages, modern orphanages. So Trump is 4 years late on the child care plan, just so you know. You know, not true. If they were to kill me right now, they would validate all the kooky conspiracy theories. They're smarter than that. If you think these conspiracy theories are not true, and I'm telling you they're true because I only speak the truth on Truth Tuesday. We don't talk about theory. The reality is the country has been completely owned by these Rothschilds and others, Zionists like them. And we're not talking about Jewish people here. But the Jewish coalitions like AIPAC, the Superfund, clearly has a Zionist tie and a loop back into the world of the ultra-wealthy. Now, my plan to get our country back on track is to get off of welfare. Trump doesn't have a plan like that. This $400 a month plan per U.S. adult, Trump doesn't have this plan. This is giving money back to the American people. This is funding startups and growth sectors in our country.
You can do whatever you want with the money and there's no questions asked. We have been completely censored, Randy. We told you that. God, you just don't get it, do you? I'm going to purge that. Looks like Hillary's going to be on Jimmy Fallon this week, so she's doing better with her pneumonia. And I'm going to call her Shillery from now on, if that's okay, till the election and beyond. Yeah, here she is. This is the new one. They've already got pictures of her. Wow. She's ready to go. Look at this. They've been doing an amazing job. Whether she's a robot or whether she's a real impersonator, we don't know. But she looks a lot like the real Hillary. Yeah. Amazing. They've got one hell of a double, I'll tell you. They did blow it with her body type, though. The real Hillary, who may have passed away a couple days ago, was 30 pounds heavier at least. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Yeah. You know, I don't think Jackson supports Trump. He wouldn't be in here every night saying nice things about me. No, the Jews are not Zionists, my boy. You are so out of it, man. Wow. Okay, how can I explain this to the dense mindset of a Trump tard? I know, Jackson, don't worry. Okay, Hitler actually only killed the Jews in Germany on the word of a Palestinian. You want to know how I know that? Sure you do. Hold, please. Trump is a total Zionist. Oh yeah, he looked for AIPAC money. Yeah, totally. Well, you guys are kind of heading off with me here, aren't you? Okay, hang on. We're almost done. We're not over yet. Check this out. This is a website called hearts.com Israel News. This is from Netanyahu directly. And it talks about Prime Minister tells the World Zionist Congress that Hitler only wanted to expel the Jews, but Jerusalem's Grand Mufti convinced him to exterminate them, a claim that was rejected by most Holocaust scholars. But I don't know, Netanyahu has a good point. You know, it's interesting to see that because he was willing to turn on all those Jewish people and kill them, which eventually led to his demise as well. But he didn't just die in Austria. He got away and got over to Argentina because the Vatican rat lines protected all the Germans that left. There were only 29 people on Nuremberg that were killed. Nuremberg trials led to only 29 executions. So a lot of these people don't understand that Hitler got away. Hitler accomplished the goal of his funders, the Windsor family. The English Windsor family was behind Hitler. They didn't want the Bolshevik Revolution to push into the Western Europe, so they created a barrier with Hitler. But he came too big for his britches, and it actually cost them a lot. When Neville Chamberlain went over to see Hitler, he came back and told the English people, "There will be peace in our time." He'd brokered a deal with Germany, but Hitler totally, in an unpredictable way, went out and started invading the Sudetenland and other areas that ultimately led to his demise when he split his armies up. But it's almost like Hitler was being told by his backers to go after Russia, which was the downfall of Germany in the war. Splitting the war into 4 fronts tactically was insane. But Hitler did it only because the English backers and the moneyed backers, the Zionist backers, the elitists that want this global New World Order today, just like they wanted the final solution then, they simply pushed hard on him and enforced him to break up the German troops, which led to the demise of Germany's army. Rommel surrendered, countless others surrendered. We saw the breakdown of Germany. So what Hitler did essentially was, he was a good go boy.
And Trump is turning out to be another go-boy just like Hitler. So we have a problem here. A guy that emulates Hitler, like Trump, who we know from Ivana Trump's statement in her deposition that he read the speeches of Hitler every night when he went to bed, that he simply wants to be another puppet like Hitler was. So don't think that Hitler was this megala powerful figure. He was a person that was propped up by a lot of money, just like Trump is propped up by a lot of money right now. At this point, I don't agree with anybody. I'm just posting information and news. Yeah. Truth. I show you truth on our show. You can check out that article by Netanyahu directly. All I'm telling you is what you think about Hitler is just fictitious. Yeah. A lot of you people are in love with the guy and think he was actually out to get Jews and Zionists, when in fact he was a Zionist. What happened as a result of Hitler's takeover of Germany was the death and destruction of countless Jewish people and ethnic minorities that ultimately led to the State of Israel, but they themselves weren't the ones that have formulated the State of Israel. Power brokers formulated the State of Israel, and rebellious terrorists, Ariel Sharon, Perez, all these people that got together and were terrorists at the time when they formed Israel. So the Zionist directive was to form Israel, but that is above Israel. Israel is a state, a nation state we need to respect and accept their place in the world history. But at the same time, what they're doing is not, what Jewish people are doing is not in any way to do with Zionism. It's completely different. The Rothschilds are not even Jewish. All right, so I'm going to take all of you and just stick you in a place like 124 is going, in mute land, if you can't get on board with what I'm talking about. Many of you don't have the intelligence to understand what I'm talking about. That's perfectly fine. You may not have understood a thing I said, but you can watch this over and over again to try to understand it. No, Hitler was not killing Zionist Jews. No. He was killing Jewish people. You are against Jewish people. You Trump people have to understand. Trump, he is practically Jewish. Whatever you're trying to do, you racist people who think that Trump is against Jewish people, he's actually in bed with them. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to assume that a lot of you have no intelligence and don't understand a thing I said. All right, that's understandable. The truth is you just can't comprehend what I'm doing. All right, we're going to turn guest chat off for a while. Whew. Wow. It's amazing how insane. Trump has virtually reached out to AIPAC for money, and he got it. He put together a speech, a teleprompter speech, just to kiss the ass of AIPAC. Let's get some music in here. This is like... it's weird. It's got like a weird electronic pulse that came through here. All right, everybody. Let's dump Trump. Please get your head in the right direction. We need to build this third party, and we only have less than 2 months to do it. We've been the most transparent group out there since 2008, reaching out to the American people on a nightly basis. Nobody has done as much as I have to communicate to the American people. Hey. Hello there. Nice to see you over that YouTube. Thank you for watching. We have a guest chatter named Linda. Hey, Linda. Welcome to the show, Linda. Welcome to the show, Linda. Nice to see you're in. I support myself, Clayton. Gotcha. A lot of stuff tonight on our video library. We got exclusive reports. Hillary Clinton has Parkinson's disease, a doctor confirms. We got 3 testimonies from friends and family that confirm that she is. But then there's this fake Clinton that's appeared. She looks a lot like Clinton, and she's being put out as the ultimate impersonator. She's going to be making a visit on Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon coming up. So you're going to see the appearance of the new imposter Clinton, who talks just like her. And we saw the real Clinton possibly die on September 11th. This is epic. Our country's never been in a more disturbed place than we are today. But we got nothing to lose and everything to gain. That was an abrupt end, kind of an off-cut, yeah. Look at the teeth, yeah, look at the teeth. Michelle Obama co-host with Ellen? Oh, really? Okay. Meta-nemesis, okay. Are we just going back to being brain-dead pre-2015? I mean, come on, seriously. We all know Michelle Obama's a tranny. All right, so he's going to meet with a lesbian and what, talk about transgenderism? I mean, what's their conversation on Ellen here?
You know, I've been doing this show a long, long time, and you won't believe this. I started doing the show back when headphones still had cords. But today something is happening. It's never happened before in the history of this show. Today I'm co-hosting with the First Lady of the United States. Isn't this exciting? What an honor for her.
I thought I turned sound on. Sorry, I hit the button twice. My fault. Yeah, I guess we're going to be listening to that in the evening tonight. I believe that Michelle Obama has a man's hands and shoulders, and I'm not the only person that believes that she's a transgender. So you can believe whatever you want. I've got some pretty damning photographs of her here. If you haven't seen these, at the least take a look at the images. I mean, we all know that Barack Obama has a history of homosexuality. I'll get to that in just a second. The truth about his gay lovers at the Trinity United Church of Chicago. I got a couple things I want to bring out. There's Barack Obama with his scar on his head. We think maybe he's been chipped or something. We don't know. Michelle, where are you when we need you? She had such a lovely dress, showing her large groin area. Here it is. So this is not a photoshopped image of Michelle. This is the real deal. And this is the first image that came out. There's another couple of them that have been appearing in front of the news. It hasn't gotten any play whatsoever. This is another one where he's actually grabbing this protuberance in his groin area. Hey, you know, we've all warned you about Obama being a Muslim born in Kenya, which I still think he is. And I'm the last birther, I'm the first birther presidential candidate, and apparently the last one. I still think he was from Kenya. And, unlike Trump, I don't like debt.
Debt, I love debt.
They're prevented.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented from using the bankrupt.
I'm the king of debt. I love debt.
They're prevented.
So I don't like debt. I don't want us to be in debt. I want to get more solvency back in our country. But let's focus on this simple fact. This is a dude, and he's put one over on the American people. It's not Photoshop. No, duct tape. You're in denial, duct tape.
That's like saying that this picture has artificial amounts of gray in his hair. They photoshopped that too, while he was drinking the Flint, Michigan water. What I'm about to show you is deep in the realm of truth, in the archives of truth, that have been suppressed by the mainstream media, and I'm glad to bring it out and show you once and for all exactly what I'm dealing with. The reality that Barack Obama had 3 lovers, and they're all 3 dead unnecessarily. Donald Young was his butt buddy in the Trinity United Church. Donald Young was an absolutely open homosexual. Thank you, Kool-Aid. If you haven't seen the story, I got to show it to you. Donald Young was killed, shot in his apartment. He was a brilliant young man. He had a master's degree, was going on to become a principal. He was a choir director at Barack Obama's church, Trinity United Church of Chicago. And I might remind you Christians that Barack Obama never did join another Christian church when he abdicated his faith with Reverend Wright and left that church. That's because he was leaving behind a long legacy of things he didn't want anyone to know about, his homosexual past. Here is Donald Young's mother clutching a picture of Donald Young, her son, who she fears was slain to protect the secrets of a pal who became president. Now, this story never got any airplay, and she was quickly shuttled out of Chicago, and we haven't heard from her since. But Donald Young was killed in 2007, unknown gunman. Well, that's something. I'd like to say that was something. No, we're going to give you a lot more than just a little bits of innuendo here. We're going to give you way more than that. I have the picture of... I'm going to make statements about Barack Obama that are going to freak you out in the next 10 minutes. We have a picture of all 3 of his lovers. Nate Spencer, openly gay man who was a Trinity United Church Chicago member in the Down Low Club. Larry Bland. Both of those people died in 2007 of an unknown illness. In the case of Larry Bland, and Spencer was taken out similarly with gunshots. We are looking at a situation where everything has been covered up about Obama, just to protect his puppetry, which he's been a puppet of the New World Order and the elitists that are trying to control our country. He has handlers at the CIA. Even his mother worked at the CIA in Indonesia. Now, what I'm about to show you is going to be shocking, beyond belief. You're about to see Barack Obama's real father. It wasn't Barry Soetoro or Sr., Barack Obama Sr. It wasn't Lulu Soetoro. It was none other than a Muhammad Sabu, a cult leader that bedded his mother and gave birth to Barack Obama. I'm going to show you a picture that is absolutely shocking.
In a heavily resourced and documented article at AmericanThinker.com titled Barack Hussein Sobarka by Jason Kistner, we find some amazing discoveries regarding the identity problem of Barack Hussein Obama. Jason Kistner is an associate professor of criminology at California State University, Fresno. Following is an edited synopsis of that article with an absolutely surprising find by the P.P. Simmons staff at the end of this video. One of the unexplained mysteries in the all but missing documentation of the early life of Barack Obama is the appearance of the name Sobarka as his last name on an official document filled out by his mother. We are in possession of Stanley Ann Dunham Soetoro's 1968 application to extend her 1965 passport for an additional 2 years. Her passport, by the way, is now reportedly destroyed. On the second page of the application, Ann Dunham attempted to exclude her son Barack Obama, or Sobarka, from her passport, but the item has been crossed out, perhaps on the advice of the consulate in Jakarta, as this would have left 7-year-old little Barry passportless. In Hawaii in January 2011, after being appointed by Hawaii's governor just a few months before the release of Obama's long-form birth certificate.
Okay, that was Loretta Fuddy. I skipped forward. That was Loretta Fuddy, the lady that was appointed. It turns out that Loretta Fuddy was a cult member in this weird Indonesian cult in Indonesia called Cult of Cebu. Now watch this.
Changing one's name for spiritual reasons was something frequently done by followers of the cult Subud, and Stanley Ann Soetoro was in fact closely associated with Subud. We know that. It is reasonable then to suppose that Sobarka, the name chosen for Obama on that passport, arose in the same way new names for others like Diliana Loretta Fuddy did. But remember that the name Sobarka appears in the passport renewal section labeled amend to include or exclude children. The name Barack Hussein Obama Sobarku is crossed out. This signifies that Obama's mother had apparently decided to exclude Barack from her passport renewal. Apparently, Stanley Ann Dunham Soetoro changed her mind about the exclusion. Perhaps this was done after having been informed by the consulate there that doing so would leave Barack without a passport. But there is another possibility, one just as valid and even simpler. What if Obama's mother was trying to include Obama in the renewal, but she wasn't able to produce a birth certificate? And the Subud name Sobarka simply did not suffice legally. That could explain why the name Sobarka appears nowhere else in any of Obama's documentation of which we are currently aware. But now for the real shocker in this entire matter. The staff at P.P. Simmons did some research and found an old picture of the founder of the cult of Subud, one Mohammed Sabu Sumohadi Wijojo. Do you see anything odd here? Think about it. Fuddy, Obama's mother Dunham, Subud, Hawaii, Chicago, Indonesia.
I'm thinking about it, yeah. So this is the shocker. This is the most clear resemblance I have ever seen physically. And the lighting is different. The lighting from the picture in 1957 of Indonesian cult leader Muhammad Sabu is the same skin tone as Barack Obama today. So there is no difference in the skin tone. You are looking at Barack Obama's real father. And it wasn't Frank Marshall Davis, the guy who attended to Barack Obama's mother's exotic photographs when she was, if you didn't know that she posed naked in a lot of different magazines back in the late 50s. It wasn't Frank Marshall Davis at all. People thought it was him. It wasn't. It was this guy. But if you want to talk about those expose videos, let's talk about the seduction of Ann Dunham. A communist leader, Frank Marshall Davis used Barack Obama's mother in naked and very revealing magazine publications. Very weird stuff, yeah. Secret pleasures. So when the president of the Philippines said that recently, Mr. Duterte, President Duterte of the Philippines, said that Barack Obama was the son of a whore, that was absolutely inaccurate. Son of an exotic dancer. That would be more appropriate. All right, just so people can understand where we're going here. Okay, now for the most bizarre and truthful issue regarding Barack Obama that you don't know about. He has a scar on his head that is absolutely verifiable. That a neurologist has actually stated, a neurosurgeon said that these are the markings of a person who has half of his brain taken out. So we're looking at a guy who may very well have already had an installation put in his head. All right, and this is not Photoshopped. I assure you I can present many other pictures. But with the idea that our president could have had a microchip installed in his head so that he's literally getting messages brought to his brain into his earlobe, you can only imagine the unbelievable sham that's been put over on the American people. I mean, this is insane. We've never seen anything like this before. I'll be right back. I'm going to bring you a video that is just as relevant, and you'll be liking this because it does show you his weenie wagger going on. Michael Robinson Obama's weenie wagger. Check it out.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
We have a problem here. She is not what you see.
Okay, yeah, that was great. Thank you. No, there's nothing photoshopped here, man. You're totally in denial. Yeah, duct tape. I knew a lot of this would be hard for you to understand. Thank you. Isn't that awesome? Well, we've come to the end of our show, folks. It's as much as I love to hang out and talk about Barack Obama being gay and Muslim and how I'd like to prosecute him. And Trump doesn't want to prosecute him now. He actually thinks he was born in the U.S. No, it's not over yet. I'm just giving you a preparatory remark. But the real problem is your healthcare costs. And tomorrow we're going to deal with Wasteful Wednesday and talk about the rising cost of healthcare and how Trump, he doesn't have a plan for cutting the cost of healthcare. He doesn't have a plan to deal with the massive ripoff that's going on right now in our country. I do. And what's worse, Obamacare did cost rate increases of 30, 40, 50%, 53% rate increases. We are seeing massive amounts of spikes in healthcare costs. So we'll be addressing the real cost of this nightmare. And it is, we marked it on our Wasteful Wednesday show, it is costing the nation an extra $38 billion a month for Obamacare. So over a 10-year period, it's going to be way over 1.5 trillion. It's actually going to gouge our country so deep we won't even know what to do. Thanks, Jackson, for coming in. Great show. Thank you. A real big cheer, ladies and gentlemen, from Liverpool, London, the Bills. And ultimately, the discussion about Paul McCartney tonight was really interesting. I thought I'd kick off the after show with a little video pictorial that we usually play in the late hour of our show, making you really question whether Paul McCartney has been replaced or not. That the rumors of him dying in '69 may very well have been true. Yeah, November 9th, 1969, Paul McCartney was in a massive car crash, leaving a recording studio at about 3:30 in the morning. And he passed away. I'm really sorry to tell you, some of you Beatles fans are in there who's screaming about Paul, and now you can handle it now that you're much older. You won't freak out, but a lot of people believe that was the goal, is they didn't want anyone to freak out. Well, actually, it's much more sinister than that. The truth about Paul McCartney, which we'll show later in the evening tonight, but a little bit taste of it just to start with, is absolutely shocking. The actual group itself, the Beatles, was named after a particular type of beetle which was represented in the Nazi insignia. It was a certain type of beetle that actually was used by the Nazis. And when the Beatles themselves were practicing in Frankfurt, Germany, Hamburg, there was an institute in Frankfurt that actually was developing a social engineering program, and they solicited these young men who they thought were really good studio performers to get involved in this organization. And this organization was called the Tavistock Institute, and it was a descendant of Hitler's social engineering program in the 1930s. And the Tavistock Institute got a hold of these young men and turned them into brainwashers. Musical brainwashers. They were just given lyrics, they were given all kinds of poetry to sing it, and they were excellent singers. And the work, the artistry that went into this will blow your mind, that these people were actually social engineers for Adolf Hitler. And their goal was to turn our country into a basket full of drug addicts. So when you grew up with the 60s like I did, some of you were as old as I am, grew up in the 60s or later, the entire history of rock and roll was framed by this group, the Beatles. And they wanted to brainwash the population in the worst way, and they did it. And I'll be talking about that later tonight if you really want to get into the truth about the Beatles. Anyway, here's a difference between Paul, the real Paul, and the fake Paul, and we'll get into a lot of stuff tonight on Hillary and whether she has Parkinson's, whether her situation is she's alive or dead. We'll be talking to experts that think that maybe this guy she's been replaced by a new Hillary. I call her Shillery. And we'll be talking about all the dangers of Trump's Zionism. And obviously Hillary's a Zionist too. So we are definitely anti-Zionist. You come to the right place. This third party is designed to get America back again, keep America great, not look at our country like we aren't great, because I think we are great. I don't like that whole spiel that Trump took from Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, the truth is, came up with the idea that make America great again. He had this slogan back in the 80s, we'll make America great again. And then Donald Trump took that and is using it as his own. So he stole that idea from Ronald Reagan. That's the truth. Make America great again is a complete copy of the Reagan plan. Anyway, let's talk about a lot of those issues, and we'll bring them up tomorrow on Wasteful Wednesday, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time. It would explain the group captain and Tennille, yeah. Nobody could have ever become famous with their talent level. Good point. Well, I don't think Ronald Reagan stole it from Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton wasn't even on the horizon at the time that Reagan said it. All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for coming in, and we'll see you again tomorrow. If you want to watch our show over again, it's going to be uploaded on YouTube in about an hour. It'll be up there. And that plays directly from our website, AmericasThirdParty.com. If you haven't told your friends and family about a third party, please do. And tell them that we are being censored heavily on the internet. And we haven't received any mainstream media attention. They videotaped me right in front of my home, but they won't play the video because they know that this is a viable campaign that could go viral if they give it a little juice, and they won't do it. So it's up to you, it's up to word of mouth around the world to keep this message alive and to keep our show an active part of your life. Even if you just bop in once in a while, realize that we're in there trying to create a party that represents the people of America, not the rich 1%ers like Bill, Hillary, and Donald. Okay, good night.